Hey guys, this is Luminous, and I'm joined by Aui2000 as well as Blitz. Well, more aptly, I'm joining them as we're talking about 6.84. This patch log is about 30 pages on my MS Stock, and it's probably going to take 4 hours or so. So, have water. Let's go on. Is that what's happening? Do we have do?
Wait, is my stream working? I can't check it because I'm streaming
It's
window.
working.
All
The
right,
stream is working. I saw your cloud
amazing.
manager. So
Yes,
before we
it's very nice,
start,
isn't it?
any initial thought about the feel of the?
All right, Blitz, you're going first because I'm trying to adjust stuff.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think that generally when we read over these things, and I haven't gone through all of it yet, but it feels like IceRog is trying to make items, especially like item slots, a little bit less significant, right? Because there are items that you can consume now that will help you out over the course of a game. I think that this patch also has a lot more late game scaling for various reasons, like the Alchemist Axe thing, which we'll touch upon, and just with the amount of items that you can eat now that don't take up an item slot, right? Because before, it was resource management in itself, where you had to like choose which 6 items that you needed, and in some ways I like that, in some ways I don't, which I guess we'll talk about as we go through it as well.
Aui?
Hello,
Is it my
Curtis.
turn?
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
What the
Sorry. No, I agree with that. I think I don't know about the item slot thing because it's only one item, but I think in general, IceRog's trying to make it more focused on kills early game by nerfing like creeps, buffing hero kills, and I don't know. I think I like the patch, most of it, but I like most patches and they confuse me, so I don't know.
Didn't you say that sniper was
first
going to
of-
be bad at 6.83?
I did, but I don't think anyone will ever predict all the right things in a Dota patch because like sniper. It's very possible that sniper is going to be bad in this patch, and then because no one knew how good shrapnel was, because no one picked the hero in competitive and realized that like even with the old patch, it's possible that sniper could have been a pretty decent hero.
Yeah, and that's a good point to actually say a disclaimer that we are kind of just judging this on face value. We haven't played any games, so mechanically and sometimes all these Seercraft could be completely off. Bear that in mind. Take it with a grain of salt. So without further ado, let's go. All right, AoE bonus skill component based on team net worth difference reduced by 25%. The experience component reduced by 40%. That's something that Aui said about making the early game a little bit. Is that what you're referring to?
This isn't really about that. I guess it does make early game more important, but the biggest thing about this is that people are complaining about comeback mechanics basically. So I guess IceRog's taking that into consideration. I didn't think gold really needed to be changed that much, but the experience change is definitely needed.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit ridiculous in the past. This kind of balances things out a little bit better. So I kind of agree with Kurt. I think the XP thing is the large part. I thought the gold thing was a little bit. People kind of remember the first impression of it, like that was ridiculous. But then there were enough tweaks I feel where it didn't make it as terrible.
And most of the tweak focused on the gold, right? And the experience wasn't tweaked as much. So now I think we're kind of back in balance in terms of gold and experience.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so the creep bounties got reduced for melee and range lane creeps, and I'm gonna kind of skip down because also there was a huge section where a lot of the jungle creeps got reduced. So Ancient Black Dragon bounty, the Drake, the Tier Tormentor, blah blah blah. And I quickly worked out the math in terms of how much they got reduced. It's around a 20% to 25% gold decrease for how much less farm you get from Big Ancient. So essentially, farming has been nerfed. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, I mean he's just nerfing farming a bit and buffing killing heroes because the game was becoming really farm oriented, especially like the early mid game. You with the comeback mechanics, like kills didn't matter that much, and just farming to get up items counted way more. So I guess that's just a response to that.
So, judging for what Blitz said earlier, like Blitz was talking about late game, like we're talking about 7th and 8th item slots in terms of how you could extend your item slots, which is ultra late game. And then, at least from what we're reading now, it's like very early to make game oriented. What do you guys like? Just throwing it out there. How do you predict pro games is gonna go? Is it gonna be shorter? the game duration, or is it going to be longer?
Blitz, you want to take this one?
I don't, man, that's really hard because there's a lot of stuff that makes late game, like certain lineups can just infinitely scale. Like there's an item that we'll talk about later on that you can just essentially keep consuming. Um, and there are items that make it so that getting caught out is less of a thing, right? There's that one item that like reflects and stuff like that. Oh man, I actually think in some ways you can go late game with a lot more heroes than you could before, but that we would have to like skip like far into the patch notes for stuff like that, right? Because it's a lot of the new items I feel like that are gonna change the way that you play like the late game.
We could talk about the item right after the mechanics if you guys feel like it's more important.
Yeah, for example, what is that new item? It's
The Hyperstone one, or
yeah, like for example, like Moon
you can
Shard.
only consume it once.
Yeah, you don't stack.
Yeah, but still, it's one of those things where it helps you out a lot. You could use it for I don't know if you're like 6 slotted, it helps out. You could get things like what is it? Is it the Lotus Orb?
Yes.
That like it's really not that expensive, right? It's only like
Yeah, it's
4K.
like a Purge and a Mirror Shield.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like
Well,
4K.
Yeah, let's talk about that after we talk about the mechanics because we're kind of jumping all over the place.
So what I just mean is that I think that when you ask me if things will go more early game oriented or late game, I actually think that more lineups can go late game centric now.
I think with all the changes, I think that deathballing, or not really deathballing, but pushing early is a lot easier. Especially like getting a Rax means so much now because the Raxes give 500 gold like to each player. So, like,
Oh, is that really?
2500.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, 500
And
go to the whole team, right?
No, each player. So 2500. Both Raxes are worth 2500 in total.
Damn.
So like if you push one lane of Rax, like that's a lot of gold to go one way. And there's like some armor nerfs, and I think a lot of heroes that can push got some small buffs. And there's like some spellcaster buffs with the items, but I guess we'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Who are usually better early game.
And with the pushing as well, there's more melee creeps that get spawned, or at least spawn earlier. The siege creeps spawn earlier as well. So early game fighting and a lot more pushing. In terms of the AOG bonus gold, like when you get them by having the quote unquote assist and the net worth difference, like how do you guys feel about that? Because before, if you killed a Crystal Maiden on the opponent team that was up by like 20k net worth, you get sizable amount, right? Now you don't get much.
I really like that one.
Yeah, it makes sense, right? It doesn't let the team that's far behind to catch up as easily.
Yeah, it's both. It's also that like if you're worth less on your team and you're in the AoE kill for gold, you'll get more gold. And I think that one, I don't know if that was necessary, but it's sort of interesting, especially for early game ganks, because in this patch, like if you or in 6.83, if you gank mid as a support, sometimes you end up getting like 40 gold, and they get the kill and they get all the gold. But with this, you might get a bigger chunk of the AoE gold because you'll be worth so much less, and it'll help supports that are behind become more relevant in the game, I guess. I think that's good because you do want 5 players playing the entire game.
Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of this patch too is just about making all the heroes as relevant as possible, where a 5 position isn't as bad as it used to be. So hopefully it won't be like you might see players like AUI or something like that, and then they'll leave like their 5th player in the dust, where they're more just like a ward machine and a positional thing. Like now you actually can scale a little bit better.
Yeah,
Right,
there's
cool.
also something interesting, like the line where it's like reduce the direct hero last hit bounty by 100 and redistributed it. If you get like a 2 or 3 hero kill, it's worth more than getting a solo kill or a 4 or 5 hero kill. And that's just a bit to encourage ganking early.
All right, awkward silence.
No, I was thinking about it too. I was thinking about like the pub mechanics of it as well, because like most times pubs don't know how to gank, or it's usually not worth it. Like Kurt said, if you go for like the last hit on a hero, if your mid hero gets it anyways, then it doesn't really directly benefit you that much, right? But this kind of actually promotes like proper play, I feel, and I'm for anything like that.
Yeah, it makes ganking a lot stronger early game for the person doing the gank, or the person who doesn't get the last hit on the hero.
Yeah, exactly.
Because instead of getting 40 gold, like it is dispatch, you'll probably get like 150 gold or something. Even though and you'll get that total of 50 extra gold in total, but the kill will be worth the same overall.
Doesn't that weaken the mid lane as well, where before you could just like get away even if you died? Oh man, there's so many like ripple effects. Because now,
What do you mean?
Because now if you get ganked, it actually matters for even if your mid hero doesn't get the last hit, he still gets a decent chunk of change, and you don't have like when we talked about the gold nerf and stuff like that, you can't just like go around solo killing. It nerfs that, and the jungle doesn't give you as much now, right? So heroes like Storm and SF can't just like fall back into the jungle after getting ganked twice or something like that.
It doesn't really nerf solo killing, or this specific change doesn't, because it redistributes like solo kill. You still get the same amount. I guess it nerfs it relative to getting a 2-man kill, but it's not a nerf compared to now, I guess.
Yeah.
And,
Oh,
sorry,
sorry.
what were you saying?
No, I was just saying that the bigger thing is that if you get ganked with everything, I was just spitballing in my head that it's harder to come back.
Do you remember like the patch before comeback mechanics were introduced? In that patch, like, was it similar? Because I never really play mid, so I don't know this. But like, was it harder to come back if they got a kill? Because
I can't remember. It's
like
been
if
so
they
long.
don't get the last hit, okay.
It felt like I've been playing this like farm style jungle meta for so long.
In that patch, it was like 200 gold for AoE in a double hero kill, and 250 for the kill. So it's even higher for the secondary hero who didn't get the kill compared to now. It just wasn't really shown, and no one made a big deal of it. But like double hero kills in that patch were insane high, because they buffed it to like prevent tri lanes or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't think it'll be that big a change that way, but I think it'll mostly help the support to gank, and also if the mid hero doesn't get the last hit, they also get a lot less of the AoE gold, because the support that ganks is definitely going to be lower net worth than them.
All right, continue, Rumi. Did Lumi just mute his mic?
Lumi did mute his mic.
Oh my god, he's not.
Oh
good
no,
at
I
this.
realized I muted my mic. Sorry, I was
Okay.
the math was so mesmerizing that I was jotting it down. Okay, I'm gonna just move on to talk about the break and mute mechanic that's introduced. And
I think buyback.
buyback.
sort of it.
Okay, yeah, you talk about the buyback then. Okay, buyback. Okay, when you buy back, you can't farm anymore. You can minus creeps, but you can't farm anymore. Or when you farm, you only get experience, you don't get gold. You can still get reliable gold, which is killing heroes. And now the new buyback, which I can't find on my patch right now, you get 60% or 40%.
You get 40%.
40%, so you reduce 60%. So I'm not sure how you guys feel about this, but I kind of want buyback to be a very punishing thing, which was, I think the current version is very punishing, right? Take off a carry 50 minutes of the game, you push their base, you force them to buyback. You buy back, you back off, and they can't farm for good 60 seconds. Now, they could still farm. They could get 40% gold. Not that much, but they still get something.
It's a nerf to buyback, because when you kill heroes, you get 40% of the gold too.
That's true.
So, like,
is that a straight up nerf though? I feel like it's more of a change.
I mean, like, if you buy back to farm, I think most teams are okay playing against that buyback. Like, they're like, yes, we made him buyback, and now he's hitting creeps. Like, yeah, sure, he can do that. We'll be fine with that. But what happened is, like, how buyback works with comeback mechanics is sort of weird, because say like Team A kills Team B's hero. The Team B hero loses 750 gold for dying. And he buys back, so he loses more gold, which puts him like 2k behind in terms of net worth. And then if he kills a Team A hero, the comeback mechanic is even stronger, because he's 2k extra behind. So he gets even more gold. And what happened this patch is you would die, buy back, and then you would break even on your buyback, or even come out ahead a lot of the time, which is sort of problematic, because that's really one of the things that made breaking base hard this patch. This buyback was super strong.
Now in the scenario I presented, where you're the team A, you kill Team B's carry, you force them to buy back and you back off. Right? In the current patch, Team B's carry gets no gold. 6.84, they get farm. So
like Team B's carry did a bad buyback though, because he's buying back, but he's not getting anything out of it. And like farming at 40% isn't good, because you're also taking resources away from your team. Like, you're getting the creep kills, but you're only getting 40% for it.
Okay, so for me, this nerfs me a lot as a Storm player. It just like Storm
It's a
didn't
personal attack.
directly, yeah, Storm didn't directly get nerfed. It's just like all the random stuff like this that really hurts it because Storm isn't a hero that you buy back and you're trying to stop somebody from pushing, right? It's to get immediately back into the fight, right? So, in that regard, it's a lot more punishing to buy back as a hero like Storm. Because whereas before, there were a lot of situations where I could just play the base defense game, right? And if we won one fight off of my buyback, it was 100,000 times worth it, right? The math is not good, obviously, but it was worth it like a lot of times over. And now it means that it's a lot more shaky. Like I have to dominantly win a fight as like Storm, right, for the buyback to be worth it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, it would be like making 2.5x your buyback this patch
Yeah.
in order to break even on the next patch, and I don't think that ever happens.
Yeah. So.
So,
Woo! Goodbye.
Dude,
what
in,
happened?
in 2K MMR, right? In the MMR play,
Yeah, like
wrong
you'll
buyback
never
happens all the
make
time.
your
I'm just saying.
buyback.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll never make your buyback go back, which I think is good.
Okay, so I think that's enough for buyback, right? Break versus mute. You want to quickly explain that because that's a bit confusing. Aui.
I'm explaining it?
Yeah,
I
sure.
thought you were going to explain it.
Am I?
Did you read it?
Can I
did.
say something really quick too?
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
melee attacks now miss if the target is farther than 350 range. Remember when you could like do some like bullshit hits?
It was
That
always
would-
Lifestealer.
Yeah.
Like, you
it
open
really
Loot Zone
was.
and you rage, and they force stab, and you hit him 3 times when he was 800 range away, and you killed him.
Yeah, it was pretty bullshit.
No,
I'm
wasn't
really...
it the coup de grace from PA? You force that
Yeah.
away, and then you just get the
Yeah,
4
you
red
still
numbers.
get- It just crits you, and you're dead.
Oh my god.
But
Alright,
what
so
if you
I'm
have an
glad.
MKB? Do you still hit?
I don't think so. I
Okay,
think
sorry,
it's
that-
more...
That would be my favorite, though. If you had an MKB, you can still do that.
I think it just
Be
whiffs.
legit.
It's like a whiff thing
Yeah,
now,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
Alright,
Okay,
great stuff.
so
I mean, short segment. Reduce all pick drafting time from 40 to 35. I'm really happy about that, just saying. Because people took so long to draft. Like, I hit the random button, I have to wait like 10 minutes to play a game. And then during those 10 minutes, they would all just flame me for hitting the random button. So that was
It's
all
true,
fun.
it's true.
Alright, so break is like, it's basically muting passive abilities, I guess, or disabling passives. So I guess just think of Scepter Doom. And then they added some additional ones that makes it sort of crazy. Like, break is incredibly strong because, for example, you can disable PA crit, which is like, I don't know what it is, like 70% extra DPS, and that makes the hero way worse. So yeah, that's break. And they so separated item silencing from break because usually they were combined for like Doom and Hex, and Hex no longer has the passive disabling from break, which means that it doesn't disable like PA evasion or
Void.
Well, it
it
never
didn't disable
Yeah,
Void
it never
before.
disabled.
Did it?
Yeah.
Or did they change that?
I don't think it did.
It didn't disable in Dota 1. But I don't really know. But it doesn't. It probably doesn't disable like Gem or whatever now too. Oh wait, it still does because that's item muting. But yeah, someone else explained this. This
So-
isn't being explained well.
Yeah, so the biggest one that you see most common is the interaction between Scythe of Ice and Butterfly, right?
Yeah.
That's I think occurs the most, which specifically says they're only disabled if they match a general rules buff. For example, Butterfly's evasion is not disabled when you're hexed. So, I mean, that's kind of the go-to counter for hexes, apart from MKB, obviously.
Wait,
It's not-
so
Yeah, go ahead.
is Butterfly not disabled by anything? That's what
A-
it means, right?
Well, Agadoom breaks. No, Agadoom. Yeah,
No, break does
breaks
not
and not
affect
mute. Yeah,
items.
okay.
So Butterfly's only counter is MKB now. You can't just hex the target. Which is actually really big because MKB, you don't want to build MKB unless you have to, because the item's not good as a standalone item when you compare it to like something like a hex or a crit.
That was my counter. Whenever I played Storm, I would just like, Storm's gonna be referenced a lot here for me, but but it does matter, right? Is like
Yeah.
for a spellcasting type of carry, you would just get Hex. Like if even it doesn't even matter. Storm is like the best example, but if you did it with like Blink Zeus or something like that, and you get like 6 slotted or something, you could just get a Hex to counter, and you could burst or like everybody could just chip in and right click. But like Blink Hex heroes against stuff like PA kind of gets nerfed a bit.
It's a big buff to evasion actually.
Yeah.
Even though
Oh, sorry.
if they use break on you, you're sort of screwed if it's a passive. But for Butterfly, like Butterfly got a huge buff.
I think it needed it as well in some ways.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it was a strong item before, but I don't think it did what it was supposed to, because the evasion almost never mattered because it would just build a hex, and now at least you force them to build MKBs.
Wait, he's saying Hex does stop. Somebody in your chat saying Hex does stop items like Butterfly, but does not stop passives like PA Blur.
I don't know what's happening.
I mean, I'm just reading directly from the patch log. It says, for example, Butterfly's evasion is not disabled when you're... Unless this is...
Okay.
Help.
Alright, this guy, I'm pretty sure, like, Twitch chat is wrong, so let's just move on.
Oh, that's weird. That's never happened before in the history of Dota.
So,
But anyways.
so one thing I do want to mention, because it's not exactly a direct interaction, but it seems like late game magic casting has been buffed in this patch. And we'll talk about that more later, and evasion doesn't exactly work. Not exactly a straight up counter like MK. Does have some late game. Okay, so there's some items that are being shifted around in the side shops and home shop. You can now build Ring of Health, Voice Stone, or Venom to base. I think the big one is you could actually get Voice Stone in your side shop. I guess big for anti-mage for building that perseverance into battle for you.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yeah.
Wait,
Cool.
you can buy Orb of Venom in the base too?
Yep.
That's nice. Because you can just start with it and go straight to Rune or Smoke or something like that instead of having to stop by the secret shop. I don't know how relevant these changes are. I mean, it's basically just you have to send your courier somewhere else, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think it's a big deal. I think we're spending too much time on it. We have a long patch.
It just saves time, that's all.
Yeah.
Hey, Rune is having a higher hitbox priority. That one matters because like you can't just stand on a rune and no one can do anything about it.
But don't you used to scroll up on your mouse wheel and then you like snipe it into the lyric?
It's really hard. You can do that, but I don't think anyone does that. I don't do that.
Nobody,
do you do that,
nobody
Blitz?
does that. No, nobody does that.
I
Like,
tried
you
and then I got first blooded, so I stopped.
Yeah, it throws off your like everything too much because now your perspective is shifted so hard.
I think the biggest thing here is that like if you're Radiant and you're on the high ground, you can deny both runes super easily. By like even if you can't contest it, you can just stun, and then while they're stunned, you'll be able to deny it. Because before, there's no way you're getting that A click on the rune off.
Okay. And the rest is kind of like quality of life stuff. Oh, and MV could now buy Basher on Slaughter.
Yeah,
Remember?
which is actually really good because
Yeah.
Slaughter with a vessel is good.
Do you remember the wait, what was it, like the Dota 1 where you would just like stack bashers on melee heroes?
Wasn't like the
That
Troll
was
Warlord,
good
right?
times.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Troll
Troll
Warlord.
Warlord.
Yeah, it's like triple basher. All right, keep going.
Should we jump straight to the items? Because Blitz, you kind of want to talk about it? Or should we just go
I want to do
kinda-
items or heroes first.
I kind of want to do items first before
Okay.
we touch heroes, if as like weird as that sounds, because I don't think we should follow the chronological order that Valve provides.
I
'Cause
mean,
it's
I
always
think the
heroes
items
and
actually throw the game.
Yeah,
Alright, let's go to items. Okay, Mango. It gives you 1 health, regen. You can consume it to instantly restore 150 mana. It costs 150. You could force feed it to an ally. Multiple mangoes do not stack onto.
Okay, so at worst, this is just cheap regen in lane because it's less than half a ring of regen for more HP regen, I guess. By
Right.
code.
Okay,
I don't know. I think
quick question. Would anybody start with this?
yeah, I think a lot of I don't know who because I haven't been able to really think about it yet, but I think you could incorporate it into a starting build pretty easily. Maybe on like a Nyx or someone, like you go Stout Shield, Tangle Solve. Can you afford that?
So
I
in
think
that
you
case,
can
you
in this
value
match,
the
right?
regen more, right?
The
Huh?
regen helps, but because if you're Nyx, then you get an additional 1 HP regen, right?
Yeah.
Which helps your hero like insanely much.
And then you're gonna want it from mana as
Yeah,
soon as you
exactly.
gank, because like it'll help a lot on heroes like that.
Okay, do you
Doesn't
want
it, like-
to get it on like really spammy here, like do Skywrath?
I don't think you want to get it for the mana necessarily early on, because clarities are so strong. It's more for like if you need burst mana for a gank or something, and I can't really think of the heroes that need that. Yeah.
Venge, because you can only cast like 1 stun.
That's true, yeah.
Doesn't that help?
Yeah.
Or for Earthshaker, it's like a cheaper Soul Ring, right? Where you can just actually cast more than before. Wouldn't you? Because you don't go Ironwood branches, you like cast Fissure once, and then you have to sit there claritying if you're going for like an attempt.
Well,
and
the
you just
Fissure
have to, like,
cooldown
wait
is
it
so
out.
long that you generally have time to clear it.
That's what I'm thinking. Like most of the things you can just get a clarity for.
Yeah.
What about like
I-
mid game where you like just finished a blink on a shaker? Do you just like hold one of these to make sure you could get your combo? Do you want to do that during mid game, or is that just slows you down to your arcane or whatever your next item?
I don't know how to use this item, to be honest. I'm sure there are uses, and especially like on Storm, right? Like once you hit 6, won't you want one of these?
Oh,
You're going for a big gank.
would you want one of these splits?
Oh my god, you fucks.
Wouldn't you want like all 4 of your allies who are like 4k MMR to each get one of these,
Just
follow
keep
you
eating.
around,
Just
and then
like-
each use it on you as you gank?
okay.
You get like 11 zips on Storm.
the thing.
Does not sound good?
The thing I like about it is I'm not only the Storm one, you hoes. Alright, so it helps because there was never really an item that was like cost effective that would instantly give you mana aside
Soul
from
Ring.
Bottle, right? I mean, I guess Soul Ring, but it costs you HP and it's pretty expensive, right? Like I meant in terms of consumables, like cuz there's a salve, right, for HP, but if you were missing like 400 mana, there wasn't a whole lot that you could do that would instantly give it to you. Right. For example, like if you're a mid hero and you have 800 HP, but you're missing like, there are some mid heroes where if you miss like even a little bit of mana, it's more effective to go back and save the rune. For example, like let's say you're a Storm with a DD, but you're missing like half of your mana pool. You could use it once, just so that you can play like aggressively and stuff like that. I think for that, it's pretty neat. Like I think that it's not a game-breaking item, but I don't think it's like terrible by any means either. And I think AUI just like left or something like that.
Yeah.
Just straight up pieced.
If
Whatever.
if anyone's wondering why it's enchanted mango and not like enchanted apple or durian, whatever fruit is, because mango is Ice Rock's favorite fruit.
It also rhymes with tango.
Oh, okay, maybe that's the reason.
Just-
No, mango is his favorite fruit.
okay.
Okay. Lotus Orb. So this one's actually a really interesting one. Basically, well, first it does a mini debuff. I call it a mini debuff because it's not a hard debuff. You can't debuff like stuns, right? But you could debuff things like slows. What other things do you want to? Silences, I imagine you could debuff. I haven't checked that one. I checked slow. I checked versus stun. I haven't checked it against silence, which I
I think it's like a diffusal blade.
Okay.
So you can pretty much purge almost
The thing about Dota
everything
is like
but a stun.
the mechanics are not universal. Like, so no, I could say yeah, it's like a diffusal blade, but we don't know until.
But like you have 3 types of debuffs in Dota. There's like weak debuff, strong debuff, and like some other thing I can't
Dark
remember.
Pack debuff? Or is
Yeah,
that under
I don't
strong?
know, but
Yeah.
like yeah, something like that. But diffuse is like a strong debuff or something.
Right.
So I think you can pretty much assume it's like that.
Okay, I'm gonna. So the thing we care about the most is the Echo Shield, which essentially for 6-second duration you return all of the spells, not just one, all of the spells that are casted against you. Well, single target spells that are cast against you. So it has some really sick interaction. So on face value, this hard counters against Venge and Bat Rider Initiate because you get double swap back. When Bat Rider lassos you, you lasso back, so the bat is stuck there. In fact, the bat just initiated against, or yeah, the bat just jumped into you and your team kills the bat. You can dodge Omni Slash with this. Yeah, because both of you guys would just go into a sword fight and nothing happens.
Did you like test these things?
Yeah, I test all of these. Which
Really?
Yeah, shameless plug. There is gonna be a video going on Relax Your Fine, which is a YouTube channel, to see all of these interactions. So the coolest and the most interesting one is let's say you and an ally are standing next to each other, right? And a Witch Doctor cask and against you, and you have that shield on, you're gonna fire back 3 paralyzing cask to the Witch Doctor and his teammate. Works with Chain Frost as well. Yeah, I think that should be fixed. Works against Chain Frost as well. Yeah. And the last interesting interaction is when there's channeling spells that are single target, like Fiend's Grip, Shackle, and like Dismember. So what happens is, let's say Bane grips you, right? You immediately grip them back, so his grip is cancelled. You're gripping him, but if you move, then your grip is cancelled as well. So essentially, Lotus Orb lets you cast a spell as if you have cast it. Like imagine if Rubik stole the spell and is casting it back. That's essentially what it works. Another interesting interaction is like if somebody Chaos Bolts you, you will Chaos Bolt them back. But if they roll the 4-second stun, you're not gonna roll. Well, you roll a new stun, so it could be a 2-second stun or 4 seconds. So it's essentially a new copy of the spell.
So what happens when you Rubik OT, the Lotus Orb?
You steal your own spell, but that doesn't do anything.
Did you get the spell?
Well,
you already have it.
You have the spell.
Do you get 2? You should get 2.
No, you don't get 2.
Okay, whatever.
We actually tested it.
I think the biggest thing is that it's not single time use.
Yes.
So Linken's is like you're permanently protected until it's popped once. So when you initiate, someone has to like use your Force Staff or Atos on you.
Which, by the way, works on items as well.
It works on items as well. Okay.
So if they dig on, here's the really interesting one. If they dig,
so you can blade mode.
Yes. If they dig on and they have a blade mail, it's a hard counter, because you reflect 1 back and blade mail reflects 2 back. So if they Laguna and blade mail you, you're fucked.
So I'm not. I don't really stream that much anymore. But me and my friends, whenever we play pods, we all build Dagon 5s. They're saying we can build Dagon 5s, Lotus Orb, and Blade Mail.
No.
Dagon 5 people.
They have to Lotus Orb themselves.
Oh yeah, you're right.
So you dig on them, the Lotus Orb reflects it back, and then your blade mail.
Now.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Yeah, I'm noob. My bad. All right, but anyways, the biggest thing about this item, I think, is the debuff, because
really,
this spell hard counters like hex. You can't hex people to initiate in a team fight, because they'll just get Lotus Orbed or. Like,
so with that in mind, it's straight up better than Linken's, because you get Linken's for hex most of the time, right?
It doesn't prevent you from being hexed though.
Well, but you could debuff the hex.
Sometimes it doesn't matter. Huh?
You could debuff the hex,
yeah,
right?
But,
like you said.
Like if they're like 5-man jumping someone, so he hexes on, and then there's still 4 heals bursting you. You might still die in the team fight.
Okay.
And also like they can just initiate with like BKB, right? Like they BKB hex you or something like that.
Right.
So it's not. I don't think the mirror shield is overly good. I think you'll rarely reflect like more than 1 spell unless it's used as a surprise thing. But the debuff is really strong. Like you can take off tracks, slaughter out, I'm assuming, stuff like that.
There's some wonky stuff you could do like to turn a fight, like Winter Riven. If they Lotus Orb, or if they ult you and you have the orb on, you ult them back. They're all killing Winter Riven.
Yeah.
That's some like. I think there is a place, but it's like a very situational item. Like if you get tracked, you track the bounty as well, so he's kind of useless for a while. Well, not useless, but you know what I mean. I wouldn't write it off as. I don't know. It's a really interesting item.
The Echo Shell is useful. I think the debuff is
more useful.
There's a lot of like things I've theory crafted with Diffusal Blade, but buying a Diffusal Blade in most games sort of sucks because it's not useful outside of defensive purges, and then you can't spam it for small things because it has limited charges.
Okay, so
this item.
Who gets this item?
I have no clue.
Is this like an offlane item to get?
Let's who do you think would get this?
Excuse me? Why are you guys giving me the hard ones that I don't?
Because I don't know.
I don't either, but I think Kurt's right in the sense that the echo part on first glance looks OP, because if you have an initiator that has a blink or any sort of like long range initiate, you would assume like, for example, if a puck blinks in and hexes, he gets hex back, right? But a large portion of the heroes that are going to do this in the late game are going to have BKBs at a certain point, right? Okay. So for example, if I roll in with Storm and Orchid, and there's a Lotus Orb in the game, I'm not going to fucking do that unless I know, for example, I have a BKB up, because the potential to get myself silenced and then just blow up instantly is too high, right?
Oh, sorry, can I put something in?
Yeah, shoot.
Like Lincoln says 100% uptime, but Echo Shell is only 6 out of 17 seconds.
Just
So
get
it's
3.
not like an auto counter. Okay. Well,
I mean,
after you spend your 12k
it's
gold
4K
on
gold,
your
right?
10
Like,
armor item.
just get 3. Stick it. I mean, remember
think,
that game
yeah.
where Loda had 4 of his teammate getting Lincolns? He just
Yeah,
like
but-
popped in.
Yeah, but
This
Is-
is different too because it's too high of a cost for it to be on most support heroes. Because, for example, if you're like a witch doctor, you're probably gonna want an Ags more than this,
and
right?
this is the same cost as an eggs.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally no real difference. And then if you get it on a core, it's a really situational item. Like you have to really. I feel like this is one of those items that you'd have to try a few times and apply before you see the uses. But I don't even know if it's a support item because for most heroes you'd want to get something like an Ags, right?
And it doesn't give you any stats, which
Yeah,
is
exactly.
really important. Like
And-
stats as in like HP.
Yeah, and even the regen, like the what it provides is really negligible. Like 10 damage, I guess 10
Yeah,
armor
armor's
is kind of
nice.
high, but aside from that, like everything else is kind of like eh.
Okay, how hard
Wait,
would you rush
so
this item?
Wait,
you-
I have a question about the item. Let's do you
Shoot.
test this? If you get Spirit Breaker charged,
You
will
charge
you start
them.
charging at the Spirit Breaker?
You charge them. I mean, you know how Lincoln gets immediately canceled as soon as the charge gets casted? So you immediately charge as they charge you.
Okay, and
And
then
you-
like you'll start moving. If
But
you move,
obvious-
you cancel it.
Yeah, if you move, you cancel it. And
But if
when you hit
someone's,
them,
like, slightly AFK in a game, you can make them charge at you. The Lotus Orb on, or like down a cliff, and they can't get back up.
I guess so.
Okay, let's keep going.
Wait, real
Host.
fast. How fast would you rush this item if there's a bat in the game? Because
I still
I
don't
don't think
even
it's
know
good
you.
versus bat.
You think it's good versus Bat?
I don't think.
Yeah, because he's gonna. You can't just like cast it and hope that he goes on
It's-
that specific target during that time.
It's good when you're sieging base, but that's not really a rush thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Fair enough.
Like you can put on a target and then you can hit the tower for 5 seconds and then back. But like you're never gonna be like standing behind someone and you'll see a bat rider and you're like, oh, I better Lotus Orb my friend, and then the bat is like, oh, he's Lotus Orb, let me blink and lots of him, you know? Like it's but if you do get that off, like bat's dead, so there's
You
that.
couldn't you do this on some heroes that like spell heroes that initiate hard though? Like you cast it on yourself and then you just rush in and hope that like nobody can really target you during that time, right?
Yeah, especially since like a hero like Bristleback, they don't want
Yeah.
to target you with spells. Like I mean, the counter to those heroes is usually like kiting by disabling them.
Yeah.
But if you have a Lotus Orb, like you're gonna cast all the spells back. So
That's what I mean.
it definitely has its uses. It's just
It's real specific. Like,
yeah, and it's well, I don't know how specific it is even. Like maybe in like a month, people will like figure it out and it'll be the most broken item in the game. But like
who knows,
as far as we can
XD?
tell, I think it's sort of like it's hard to use, I guess, or it's hard to get because it's expensive. I don't know.
Okay,
I have no idea.
That's an axe item. That's what Frankie's saying.
Axe item.
Oh, LC as well. Yeah, like LC, right?
Okay.
Axe, like the hard
Well-
initiators.
I mean,
Don't you want it on? Like, imagine if you could get it on Enigma fast, and then
They're
it
still gonna
doesn't even
cancel your
matter.
black hole.
yeah, they still
Yeah,
get
but
canceled. It doesn't
but
block
it
them.
doesn't matter because they'll all get stunned.
Louis, did you test if it's castable on yourself?
Yes, it's castable on yourself.
Yeah, so you play like Enigma, and then you can do like a ghetto black hole by
Like
stunning
blinking in
yourself.
with it.
Yeah, exactly.
Cast black hole on the ground and they all stun you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. Anyways.
Okay, Glimmer Cape, next item. Shadow Amulet and Cloak, 2000 goldish. 30 attack speed, 20% magic resist. Glimmer, target allied unit makes it turn invisible after 0.4 second daytime. While invisible, it gains 66% magic resistance. Last 5 seconds, the invisible unit is allowed to move during the 5 seconds. But attacking or casting a spell will cost us 0.4 second fade time to trigger again. 16 cooldown, 900 cast range, can be cast while chat. What would you get this for?
Pudge. Make him invis for 5 seconds. He hooks and then he takes less damage from rot. It's gonna be really scary with Pudge.
That's what I saw too.
Would you get this over Force Staff or Blink? Your first major core.
It's a good initiating item, and it means
Isn't
that you don't
Blink
have to
or
rely.
Force better?
I guess, but
I mean, this is
the
way easier
cost
to
is
hit
so
the hook,
low.
though.
Yeah. Also, the cast is really the cost is super low.
I mean, it's the same
And-
cost to Blink and Force. Give or take
Yeah,
300.
but the other thing too that makes it super good, I feel, is that you can get through wards, right?
That's true.
On initiating heroes and stuff.
Although I
Or
think most
don't know
Pudge
if
gets
you get
smokes
first
anyways, right?
Boards, but like heroes like Magnus who go Lothar's edge to is it still called Lothar's? Yeah, it is. No, it's not. Shadowblade. To initiate, like they can just get this instead, maybe. Because 5 seconds is usually enough to find it. Maybe it'll need to be tweaked a bit to make it longer and maybe less magic resistance or something like that. But I can see it getting used. Even like Batrider, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
Like blinking in from invis is very strong, and that's why smokes are limited. So this makes it so that like you can just for 2k gold you can make your Batrider initiation way better.
Okay. Any more else on this item? I guess we're not very excited about this one.
I am.
really like this item.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's good.
I think this is my favorite item concept, maybe that's added in for me.
It's a really like odd combination, right? Like
you can like anyone with any support with the ulti can use this, or channeling ulti can be used on them. Like Crystal Maiden, you can have a random Glimmer Cape and use on her, and she can walk in an ulti.
Yeah, and you don't want to just like stack sentry. Like it forces a type of metagame too, where gem obviously is already hard to keep up, but it's like really cheap as well. It's only 1950. Like you can get that pretty much on any hero, and instantly your ults become better, your initiations become better, your fights early become better.
But how are you gonna drop your ghetto black hole now? They can't see it coming. You can, Lotus shield it.
I mean, I just think that this item, because the thing that makes me excited about it is the cost, right? Like when I look at Lotus Orb, it's a little too expensive for my taste to get on like everybody, but this feels like it has more applications for cost.
What about the stats? Is it just flat out garbage? Like in terms?
I mean, it's kind of irrelevant. The 30
What,
attack speed is kind of nice for support.
The stats?
And the stats for the magic resistance are nice for support.
Sorry, what did you say, Luminous? Sorry, I was reading something.
I was thinking you're not gonna get this for the, like, for example, the cases where like Enigma or CM ults, like these two stats are not very helpful for.
Magic resistance is never bad, and honestly, neither is attack speed.
Okay.
Like when you get Midas in every support, like you didn't get it for the attack speed, but it's definitely nice to have.
Fair. Okay, next one, Guardian Greaves, which essentially is arcane mech. You combine the two. It is a 1650 recipe cost, really high. Passive provides 2 armor and 4 health regeneration aura when the target health is lower than 20%. Instead, provides 15 armor and 15 regen. So Huskar. Mend, restore 250 health and 160 mana to nearby allies. Remove negative buffs from the caster upon use. 35-second.
So this is good because
Wait,
like it's a way for support to get silence too.
I'm somewhat confused. So it only removes like silences and slows, right? You don't remove.
Yeah, well, you can't use it if you're stunned.
Yeah, obviously. So, you guys care about the debuff more or the armor and regen, the 15-15? Or is it kind of both?
I think the 15-15 is gonna make Huskar really scary. But I mean, it's good. It's a good aura, but this item is expensive, and I don't like the concept of having an item like Mechanism having an upgrade, just because Mechanism is such a strong item.
I agree. It's like Deso getting
like,
upgrade, right?
Yeah, it's sort of like you're getting this early game item, and then it transitions to late game, and I don't like the concept of that in Dota. But I guess we'll have to see with the item if it's good or I think it should be strong, and it'll definitely be viable. And heroes like I mean, I don't know if Chen would get this actually. He would probably get it. I don't know if the aura affects creeps, but Chen would probably get it. Maybe Tidehunter. Heroes that get Arcane and Mech. I don't know who else those are.
So when I saw
Wisp.
when I saw combining the 2 item slot into one, essentially in the very late game, I was thinking more like 6 slot or carry that gets 6 slot very easily. And traditionally, getting mech on a 1-row carry isn't very popular. Like,
I mean, the biggest thing is that Arcane Boots are a terrible item to
right.
get. They're terrible items to get for your own hero. They're good for getting to help allies. And they sort of changed that this patch by making them not cost mana, making them a bit cheaper, which we'll go over later, I guess. But like all the heroes like Razor or Viper, those carries that want to get mech, like they don't want to get this item because they don't want Arcane Boots.
Okay.
So it's not what I like about it, I guess, is that it's not one, it doesn't make the mech heal better, so it's not like scaling the mech heal, which I would be really against. And two, it doesn't buff like the tanky core mech damage type, like Razor or Viper. It's more of a buff to support heroes, which, I mean, I'm biased because I'm support, but like anyone who's played a pub knows that we need more support players and support players to be happier. Just so.
So I
think
guess
that's
you
the
would
thing.
throw Necrolite in the same category as the Razor Viper. This is a decent Necro item,
I
right?
wouldn't
I
want
mean,
to get. Huh? Sorry.
So you don't like this on
It-
on Necro either?
I don't know. I mean, like the aura would be really good for Necro, and so would the active, because if you get silence, you can just pop it, and you won't
Right.
have to go BKB or something like that. And you get your ulti off. So it could be a Necro item, but man, getting mana boots on Necro is like what a disaster.
Right.
Because the stats on this aren't good.
Blitz.
Sup?
All right, moving on. Moonshard. I'm assuming you have nothing, right, to say about it.
Oh, what else am I gonna say about that item?
I don't know. You're gonna make a storm rant
It's
about.
it's like wildly specific to get. I feel like Kurt said, you're not gonna get it on. There aren't a lot of heroes that you want, both arcanes and mech, and then yeah, you free up item slots, but it's expensive, right, to do so, because the recipe cost is so high. So
Well,
I'm good.
Speaking on an
But
item that
it does need to be high, or otherwise,
Yeah,
there's
exactly. Then everyone would
five
get
man
it.
down mid, and
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
over. Like so. I
It's like
think
for
this
type.
patch, yeah, I think this patch, a big thing is like every like initial patch, like 6.83, 6.84, you know, the first one without the B, it's gonna have a lot of changes very quickly. Because while you can make like balance changes and stuff like that and have feedback from people, you'll never know the same way as when people start playing the patch en masse.
You have to. People start abusing stuff, and once they figure out because we're reading things pretty much line by line, but we're not seeing the interactions, like for laning phase and so forth. So you never really get the full picture until you actually see how it interacts with the meta heroes as well, right? So, like, this isn't the end all be all when we analyze it. Anyways, go on to the next item, Lumi.
Yeah, Moonshard, which is I think the item you were talking about, Blitz, at the very beginning, about combining your item slots or extending your item slots, which 2 Hyperstone and a very cheap recipe, total of 4,300. It gives you 120 attack speed, and then it also gives you 29 or 250 bonus night vision. And you can also eat it for a permanent 60 attack speed buff. It won't stack, so you can't eat 3 of these. 180. You can only do it once, which makes me think back to the times where your carry gets 6 slotted and he's kind of just farming for more gold and not really using it. This could be those use it.
Couldn't you get this on a hero like Slark, and you'd have like pretty much unlimited vision at night or some shit?
Yeah, I was wondering if it worked on the heroes with 1800 night vision.
It probably does, right?
Like it says it
I
works
don't think
against
there's-
Nightstalker Darkness. Does it also work with his eggs LT?
Yeah,
Like,
I
you
think
could
it does, because there's no real limit to how much.
There's not a
Like-
cap on night vision, right?
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
it does too.
Oh, sick! I'm gonna build this on Slark, like third item.
No,
Easy.
you won't. You'll build this next item on Slark because it'll be fucking broken.
You'll see everything coming. Like literally, the only way that you'll be ganked is by like smoke blink initiations or some shit.
I mean, I find it pretty interesting that because I think I speak for most players. Like when I saw this item, it was like the 120 and then the permanent 60. But I guess for the higher skill players, you care about the vision vastly more, right? Because this is only the single item essentially in Dota, apart from Night Stalker Ag, that gives you vision, which is kind of insane.
Yeah, vision is super important. It's also if you smoke gank at night and you have this item with no night vision heroes, you'll still see them before your smoke pops, which is really big.
Oh, that's sick. Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
and 120 attack speed, like it's sort of like a pure damage item, I guess. 120 is a lot of attack speed. I guess everyone should know that since they just played a patch where every single hero was Mask of Madness. But like that, I don't know. Whenever I get to late game, I don't know what to get for attack speed if I don't want a Mjolnir and someone already has an AC. So it's sort of nice to have something like this, and have NKBs or Butterfly or something. But yeah,
What about that SMY?
yeah. What
16
about that?
attack
I should just
speed.
get Matt to more.
Okay.
32 attack speed.
So Silver Edge, Shadow Blade, and Sange fine, and then you get the Lesser Maim and the Shadow Walk. Invis now attacks deals 225 damage. Also applies break. So stable passive. Reduce target damage outputs. So essentially, if you care about this item, you care because of the break.
I mean, okay, Sanj by itself is a really good item. It's got 16 strength, 15 damage for 2k gold. Like, it's really strong. This item, I think this is the first item that's gonna get a nerf in the patch. Because imagine, like, break is super strong, and say you're like a Slark who wants to build Shadow Blade, and then you maybe want an HP item, like Sanj, and then you run up to a Bristleback or a Void or a PA, and you just disable their passive and you instantly kill them. Like, this item is really strong. I didn't even read that it reduces the target damage output for all damage types, so that's like spells too by 40%. So anyone who has it, like, doesn't have a BKB gets minus 40% damage. And I mean, it's sort of limited by the fact that you have to attack them, which is sort of hard. But I think this item is probably the strongest item. Or maybe not, maybe a medallion upgrade, but it's one of the strongest items this patch.
This is also one of the few items in Dota that gives you both offensive and defensive capability, which is really rare. Like reminds me of getting AC for a ton of attack speed and also minus armor and armor. So, is there a bad side to this item? Apart,
No.
like it's really expensive though, right?
Yeah,
No,
but
it's not even that expensive.
yeah, it's only. I guess it's.
I mean, comparing to
5200,
things
but-
like Butterfly and
I mean,
comparing to tier 4
Butterfly's, like,
items.
5900 now.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, this item, even like MKB, which is supposed to be like the cheapest of the damage items, like, this is cheaper than it. And I guess what you could say is, like, for
The build-up
that
is
tier
so
4 item,
nice.
it doesn't give us much damage, really. But it sort of does. Because it's like, I don't know how many items give attack speed, damage, life. Like, there's nothing, I think, right? I don't know. SMY?
SMY.
Oh, yeah,
Well, AC
SMY
sort
must
of
be
does
OP.
too, right?
Yeah, but like not like this. And even if it provides sort of flow damage, like 225 break Lothar's break damage is a lot too.
Isn't this like another Slark buff? I feel like you
Yep.
get it and then
Slark's gonna be crazy.
yeah, because with the Moon Shard and the Silver Edge, like we just read 2 consecutive items that I feel like really benefit the hero, right? And then the other thing too that man, I mean, the build up to this item is great too. Like you get a Shadow Blade anyways, right? On a lot of heroes. And then it actually makes Sanj somewhat useful to get, whereas like the Yasha component was a lot more useful just because you could go S and Y and the Moose Fee was a little bit better. And the recipe cost isn't even that high. So it's the build up I feel that we should look at that is the best part, right? Like you get it on Slark, you're gonna get a Shadow Blade anyways, like 99% of the time on that hero, right? And then you actually have a way to scale with that item now too, which is kind of insane.
It's not just that, it's the pieces are really cheap, so you'll never
Yeah.
lose gold if you build this item, which is
That's
sort
what
of
I
big,
mean.
I guess.
It's like all of the build up to this item is really easy to get. Like even if you get a Sanj, just getting an Ogre Club helps you out so much, right? So it's
Yeah.
not even like if you rush this item on a Slark, there's going to be too many downsides to it, right? So
I wonder if this is a Shadow Fiend item.
oh yeah, you're right too. I mean,
Because Sanj is good on that hero.
yeah, exactly.
Which hero
And
did
like
you say?
if you ult someone and then you break them with this, you do 10% damage.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
Shadow
like a-
Fiend, you said?
Yeah. I would actually really like to see that. Like you go in, I guess you can't invis ulti, which doesn't really matter in anything but like in competitive, but for pubs you can't do that, which is unfortunate. But like you ulti and then you use this and you hit them and they do 10% damage. Like that's a lot of reduction.
Okay. What about because you guys are mostly naming agility heroes, which benefit from.
Oh, it's a DK item too. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was thinking more of like your traditional melee strength heroes like Lifestealer and Night Stalker.
The
Like
only
how
thing
would you
about-
rank this item compared to like Armlet, which is the quintessential value, gold and damage?
It's a bit harder to like get the right click in, I guess, for some heroes. Like DK will be ranged. Clark is sort of special because he's
Well-
5/2/2.
I mean, you have the invis, right? Aren't you supposed
Yeah,
to
but
invis
who
in and get
cares?
the right click off
Like-
and then you do your stuff?
I mean, like, yes, but most of the time you have to BKB and Risen in like an actual team fight. Like for pickoffs you can do that, but not
I mean,
for fighting.
speak
I
of like
guess.
2K pups, like in pro games, yes, you have.
I
to do
don't
that,
care about those games though.
Okay, I mean, a majority of your listeners do care about 2K pubs, right?
I don't think so.
Don't worry, Lumi, I got this one.
Okay, go Blitz.
This is an OP pub item. Like it's gonna have a lot of applications. The damage from it is pretty significant from the Shadow Walk. In some ways too, it punishes like some of these items really punish supports. Like the Silver Edge, I can imagine like just killing 4K players over and over again with that thing. Like it's really gonna make you play smart Dota. I feel it's gonna make Gem a lot more like useful too, just against items like the other one too. What was it? The Glimmer Cape or something like that.
Yeah.
Blitz
Gonna
the
have to
hero
be.
we deserve.
What's Lothar's break now? The 175?
Huh? Sorry.
Shadow Blade break damage?
I'm not sure.
I think it's 175. So, yeah, 225 is really high though. I can't wait to get it on Slaughter.
Yeah, it's gonna be sick.
This will be a good meme.
This is gonna be like the godlike pub item. I feel more than anything. Like it's just gonna make pubs really miserable for a lot of people to play.
So real
Alright.
fast, are we one hour into the?
We're 58 minutes on my stream, but we started about 5 minutes late, so
Yeah,
almost.
we're not even close to being.
We're making good time. Don't worry.
We're making good time. Okay, next time. You guys down?
Let's keep going, you host.
All right, Solar Crest.
Excuse me?
It's a new item combined with Medallion Courage and Talisman Evasion.
Okay.
No recipe
You know what?
cost. Yeah.
Sorry. Like, when I was talking about the last time I said that's going to be the first item to be nerfed, I was saying that, and I realized that this item existed.
So
This is
basically,
another item that
it's
really
like-
needs to be nerfed.
you cast the debuff or buff on your ally or enemy, and essentially you give them armor and evasion, or you take away armor and evasion from, or you give them mischance.
Like,
And
it's
you give them minus
this item
armor.
is crazy because Medallion is a very strong item alone.
And it should not be upgraded, right? It's like the mech, it's like the
it's
Deso.
not that. It's like there's no recipe cost, and there's like sort of a trend where on cores you would just buy a Talisman of Evasion because of how much it improved your EHP by, because it's just that good an item. And now you can just get evasion from this, I guess, and it's even more. Like it upgrades the evasion. Like I don't know. This item is crazy. And Roshan is going to die extremely fast, and Roshan needs a change so that it doesn't die so fast.
Wait, we didn't go over that, but did Roshan get changed at all?
No.
Colin Blade no longer works on Roshan,
Is
which
that
is
the only
big.
thing?
Yeah,
but
it
like
needs more changes.
that's so okay. Because I was talking to pros at MLG, and they felt like a large thing that almost everybody agreed on was that too much of the metagame was centric on Roshan and how easy it was to do it right.
Yeah,
Like-
I think the biggest thing is like how fast it dies. It's not that it's so centered around Roshan, which I think most pros think is fine, sort of. It's
Yeah,
that like
That's what
you
I
can't
meant.
stop it because this troll who's level like 4 just kills Roshan instantly.
Yeah, and if you have like a Medallion of Courage and you've got 4 heroes beating on it, it dies in like 2 seconds, right? So I feel like that's
Here's a crazy
something that
change.
should have been addressed.
Here's a crazy change, right? Suggestion
Okay.
time from Lumi. What if both teams could permanently see the Roshan pit?
Oh, that'd be insane.
I mean, it doesn't change how quickly a team could do it, right? Like if you
Yeah.
do it quick, you can still do it quick, but the enemy knows you're doing it. Like, does that?
Yeah, but you could. I don't like that.
Trough says
you
that
can't-
Roshan should be removed from the fucking game.
I mean, it's always like focal point, right? For spectators, you know a fight's happening when two teams. Like that's my favorite part when two teams are
You
just
need
like
something like
clashing.
Roshan to reward map control and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The only thing is like with the change to like Roshan being random, like sometimes if you don't have like a Roshan scouter on your team, you're just screwed by luck. Like
That's
you
why-
go smoke there at 10 minutes 30 seconds, you smoke there, and if you got there and it was up, you would kill it and you would win the game. But somehow it's not up to the last 30 seconds and you lose. So that would change with the vision thing, but like I don't know. I wouldn't.
That's the only thing that I was kind of dissatisfied with the patch about, because it's insane. Like the fact that Medallion still works on Roshan, and there are a lot of heroes that are prevalent with armor breaking anyways, and the fact that you can do it in like half a second. That's the issue. It's not the fact that you see it or not. It's the fact that if you smoke in at some random time and you don't have a Beastmaster Hawk, like sometimes I'll watch Universe play Clockwork, and he'll just spend like the next 5 minutes firing rockets into Roche Pit to see if it's coming.
And the rocket vision lasts 10 seconds, and it has a 14-second cooldown or something, and sometimes in those 4 seconds, Roshan
Yeah,
dies.
it's already dead. Like there's some stupid lineups
the hell?
where it's like what is the team? It's Alliance draft Slardar, and then they do it in like half a second anyways because they pick the real one for Pycat mid. So it's
I don't know.
I think Roshan should have been the thing that was easily changed.
Quality
most.
not hurting Roshan is big for, because now I think only Ursa can solo him.
Yeah, like
early.
the pub stuff, I think it helps, but I think competitively, like it's
I mean,
still.
you say pub stuff, but when I was on C9, that's how we won games. You know, like we just do stuff
Hey,
and then say, "Hey, I'm killing Roshan," and then Roshan will die, and then we win.
Yeah, that's
So-
what I mean is that I think the fact the medallion still works on it, and
Yeah.
the fact that it's still as easily as killable
any
as it
any
is.
negative armor, like maybe it could have like a juice effect or something. But anyways, this is
Okay, yeah, we're moving on beyond
tangent,
solo Crest. Like, let's go back to item. Would you think it's a excellent Lycan item? And if so,
solo quest.
at which point do you pick it up? Like, because medallion was kind of like a situational item you buy before Vlad's, right? Unlike, or is that not the case?
It sort of differs between Lycan players because some Lycan players get a medallion and sometimes skip Vlads, and some get quick Necro 3 and they just have medallion quick Necro 3, like that was the build for a while. And some Lycan players never get medallion. So I'm not sure. On paper it's quite good on Lycan. Sorry, on paper actually I don't know. I don't think it's good on Lycan. It's too expensive. And you want to hit
3,000
your
gold.
Vlad's Necro 3.
You push down 2 towers.
I mean, you do that with Necro 3.
Yeah.
Like, nothing else matters on Lycan except the Necro 3, honestly.
I think it's a 6 support item that can actually scale, just because you can give an ally 30% evasion is that's pretty amazing.
Yeah, it needs a longer cool. It needs some downside. Like, the cooldown 7, and it lasts for 7. I know it's like that on Medallion, but it doesn't give them 30 evasion, make them take 0 damage from towers.
Hey, this evasion is it's an evasion granting buff, right? So essentially, MKB is the only thing that could mute it or break it or whatever. Correct?
Yeah, I think that's accurate.
Wouldn't it depend on what kind of buff it is? If there's like some ways you could dispel it or some way?
Yeah, this
Sure.
one's dispellable, I guess, so you can
Could-
purge it.
Yeah,
Maybe.
presumably.
Oh, it says this buff is this.
There you go.
Alright, next item, the League of Legends item, Octarine Core, Mystic Staff and Soul Booster, 6,000 gold essentially, and give you 25% cooldown reduction, and it reduces all cooldown. So this suggests it's not only spell but items as well, and it gives you a 25% life
Wait, it
steal.
affects items?
It doesn't say. It says reduces all cooldown by 25%. It could be
I hope it
spell
affects
only,
items so I can have a faster dig in 5.
right, or faster Midas. Now,
Ooh.
like, there's other cooldowns that could be also reduced. Like, does it reduce your buyback cooldown? It doesn't say. I assume
hold on,
not.
But anyways,
Like, I
Yeah.
think that's really okay. And of course, it also gives you 20% spell lifesteal and 5% from creep. I wish this one was a little bit clearer, because
the spell lifesteal will get nerfed, I think, for sure. That's too high values. Because spells do a lot of damage in AoE compared to auto attacks. And lifesteal and auto attacks is still strong, so yeah.
So I was dare crafting when I saw this item. Imagine a scenario where you have the Aghanim's tree, right? And you put trees all over the map, and you have this item. You just overgrowth, you hit all the neutral grams, and you instantly get 100% health.
Imagine if you're
would.
Necro, right? And then you just walk into a creep camp, nuke once, full HP every single time.
Yeah, I mean, you walk into 5 heroes, and if
Yeah.
you ever get your Q off,
Exactly. You're
win
gonna
the game.
heal. Yeah, it's gonna be insane. I
Yeah,
think this is a Necro.
So
item,
you guys
right?
care more about the spell lifesteal. I thought the cooldown
the
reduction. would be
cooldown
more.
reduction matters too, because like you're clicking that heal so much more often. Like on Zeus, this item will. The thing is, it is really expensive.
Like, because in 6K you're comparing against hexes, refreshers, right? Like, would you have this
Yeah.
over in hex? I don't know.
I guess it depends on hero. Like Flash Track, for example, will get this item probably as a 6th item or 5th item. I have no idea really. 4th item maybe.
Zeus, Necro.
Zeus.
Zeus has
think
a
this
lot of
item's
stuff
worse
you
than
need to get.
Refresher on Zeus, so it'll be
Yeah.
after that, I guess.
Yeah, but can you just keep spamming your Arc Lightning, for example? And
It just sort of needs to go like Bloodstone, Refresher, and then this, I guess.
yeah, that's what I mean. I'm not thinking it's like a first item for most heroes, but
Yeah, it's sort of controlled by costs and mana costs because I mean it gives a lot of mana too, but it's not like enough for like complete spam on most heroes.
Okay,
Timbersaw. Sorry,
um,
it's so good on Timbersaw. Holy shit.
so I'm gonna spoil the heroes a bit. Keeper of the Light has a spell that reduces your allies.
Yeah.
Is
That
this a
shit's-
consideration on Keeper, or maybe on the other hero that's receiving the Keeper buff? Like, you're getting multiple lightning bolts or Leshrac lightning storms, or is that just too hard dairy craft? This item is so expensive that you're not gonna see it till 40 minutes in the game.
I don't think you get it on Keeper.
No, but no, the guy that's
But-
receiving the Keeper buff.
Yeah,
like-
it's good with Keeper, I guess.
Okay.
But it's not like something I would go insane about. I think the Keeper buff is really big though.
Okay, we'll talk about it later. All right, item additions. Observerware and Sanctuary, now you could buy them kind of as singletons. You don't have to buy them as a pair, and you can also hold both of them. Which
But you can buy them single.
yeah, you could buy them. Oh, never mind. You cannot buy them single.
Okay.
A different
I
patch.
don't-
Sorry.
I think yeah. This is nice because now I can carry a stick on the support instead of my
Yay.
entire inventory being bracer, like Tranquil boots, TP, orb swords, and smoke. Like that's all I could carry. And it helps a lot late game where you sometimes just run out of room for words.
Blitz has
I
nothing
think
to say to
it's
this because he
no,
has
I
never
think-
placed a ward.
sorry, I was talking. I was talking to Tralf. I think,
As a storm player, I don't buy words, so we can just.
dude, I do buy wards. Dude,
as
watch my
the
pub
only
games.
storm player.
Thank you. But I think that, as I said, I think iStrog is just trying to make item slots more efficient. Like a lot of the items that you would typically sell or something now have ways to build up, right? And I think this is just reflected. It's like a uniform thing to do, right? Like why not just have continue to make it so that items get better and they're easier to like slot. I think
So
it
you
kinda
also
makes-
kind of don't like that though. Like you
Yeah.
want the resource management.
Yeah, because I feel like item slots as a whole.
For support?
I think for supports it doesn't really matter. Just
Because
because
this
of the fact
only
that,
affects supports.
yeah,
'cause, like,
exactly.
man, when Fear Dodo buys me a ward, like, that's the day. Like I'm telling you. don't
Well, when he buys it for you and not PPD, that's another day. But I just think that for supports, it's something that just helps out, where it makes it a little bit more uniform as a whole. I like the item or the change, not the item.
Okay. So the upgraded Breach of Travel essentially allows you to target and teleport to allied heroes.
Yeah.
Kind of insane.
So like if you have a Nyx or something, you can just gank with 2 heroes really quickly. Stuff like that. And it makes contesting Roshan a lot easier because even if you're pushing out the wave, you don't have towers in the area, you can teleport to a hero who's around Roshan. At the same time, it is 4.5 gold that gives you no additional stats.
I mean, this
Yeah.
essentially is another like secret 7 slot kind of thing. Upgrading.
Yeah, it might be earlier than that some games, honestly, but mostly it is that. It's also sort of neat because if someone gets ganked in the jungle, someone can be there really fast. But and that's like it's very rare that you're gonna have like 2 or 3 of these probably, right?
Would
So,
this
like,
item
you
be
might
better?
just TP in and die. Sorry?
Would this item be better if it was kind of like the reverse situation? Like if imagine you got the Kotl recall.
Yeah, that was a possibility for this change, I think, and that would have been incredibly broken and ruined the game, I think.
So better but broken.
Yeah, it would have been
Okay.
really dumb.
All right, item changes. Basher for numbers.
You can skip that.
Yeah, I don't think.
Abyssal
Inverse.
Blade also different number.
Yeah, you don't have to. I don't think you have to.
And
None of
AG
these-
Well,
like,
you
know,
mentioned
said
Arcane
Storm-
Boots earlier, right? Do you want to? No. Not...
Sure, Arcane Boots got buffed because they were the worst boots before. No longer cost mana, which is big because before they made no sense. Like you got no mana when you used them. Energy Booster got cheaper. Like you said, Storm got nerfed, but his 2 items got better. Oh no, wait, Bloodstone. Oh, they changed Bloodstone. Yes. Storm nerfs.
Woo!
Doesn't
A
your
lot of
teammate
these-
play Storm?
A lot of
Yeah, who
these.
cares? I don't want to face that hero in pubs anymore.
A lot of the things like indirectly nerfed my hero.
Yes.
So, like the buyback and the whole gold with neutrals and stuff like that. Like, I guess we'll talk about that when we actually reach Storm. BKB can now be sold, right? That's pretty
Yay.
big.
Oh, do you guys care about like Battle Fury and Quelling Blade being combined as one, right? Like anti-mage players rejoice. Again, another like item slot combining thing. Okay, nobody cares. All right, Blade Mail. Yeah, I don't think any of these rest of the items got significant change, unless I'm missing something.
Qualm Blade. Battle Fury.
Yeah, I just said that.
Oh, you did? Alright.
Uh,
Divine Rapier got buffed.
right,
did.
dude. Deso now costs
Oh, Deso got a big
600 less. 600 less. That's insane.
It deals 10
Yeah.
damage less though.
Yeah, but 600
But
gold
still,
is way
you would
more
tra-
than
yeah,
10
you would
damage.
trade that every
Instantly.
single time. It makes it so that you can get it like super early and it'll
Like on
do
TA,
so
you'll
much.
get phase Yasha Deso at like 20 minutes or something.
Yeah, that's sick.
So it's what, like 3,500 now? 16,
What
16,
is-
3, yeah, 35.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
That's
so
really
cheap.
Deso so cheap?
Yeah,
Yep, Deso every game.
that's your new item as a support, Kurt. You
Yeah,
can
that's my
actually
new
afford
meme.
it. You
Visage.
can actually afford it.
Visage. Aghanim's Deso AC. I'm down.
I think that's. I really wish that Yule's got a little bit more nerfed.
Yeah, I think so too.
I heard there was some stuff that they said, for example, like if you lift yourself in the air, whatever like debuff you went into with it, like if you were silenced, you would still be silenced on the way down. I thought that was kind of a cool suggestion for it. But
How would you counter silences? Only BKB?
I don't know, because right now the item feels like there's too many
Oh,
applications. for it
Lotus
still.
Orb debuff.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Yeah, but it's 4K. Like, Yield Scepter, I think it needs to be able to dispel stuff. Otherwise, there's no cheap option to counter Orchid in the game.
The hero still needs to somehow be nerfed somehow. I feel like there's too
That
many
item?
applications. Yule's.
Yeah, I think there's no reason. They should make the recipe cost 325 higher and take Sobi Mask out and make it only 100% regen. Because it's too much mana regen.
Okay, so is there anything else in here that we really want to?
Yes, Mask of Madness got
discuss.
nerfed very heavily. Which
Oh, that's
Yeah.
true.
Necro Minions.
Oh, did you
Yeah,
see the
Necro-
radiance?
The Necro one
Oh, Radiance is big.
Yeah.
Oh, the six. Well, how many percent evasion was it?
17.
17%. Well,
Yeah, 17% miss.
it's not evasion, right? Does
Yeah,
that
you
does that
apply
actually matter?
chance on AoE.
Does that matter? Like whether the text says 70% evasion versus 70% miss
Yeah,
chance
no,
rate?
it's better because if they miss, they
They miss on your
too.
allies. Yeah.
Yeah.
But if you have an MKB, it doesn't matter.
No, but they only have one or two NKBs
Yeah.
in a game. So and like, I don't know about that change. Like, I don't want to play an Naga, and I'll be a support, and I'll be fighting one illusion, and my last hit will miss, and the illusion will kill me. Like, I would leave the game. It will be TI5 finals, and I will leave.
So I remember the old Radiance back in Dota 1 day had like 8% evasion.
Percent.
So, I mean, back in Dota 1, Radiance was the broken item because everybody got it. But like, obviously, a lot of people, everything changed. Doesn't this make Radiance broken now, or just?
I
Not
mean,
really.
that's not why Radiance is broken. I think it was just broken due to like the meta and like what heroes you could buy it on. Like,
It's like Spectre and Bristle
If
back
you put
Radiance.
8% evasion back on Radiance, no one will go Radiance Heart on Necrolite now. Like, it's still not good. So yeah, I think another big change is Heart, because does Skady get a nerf?
Scotty?
Yeah, Skady. I don't know how to speak English.
Yeah, have 0.5 second less in terms of slow duration or range.
Okay. Okay, so Skady got a slight nerf, and that's because it made Heart pretty much obsolete this patch. And Heart actually has a niche, which is you regen really fast when you're out of fights, I guess. And I think that's important because even though Heart regen was 2%, which seems like a lot, like when I'm sieging base, it wasn't enough. Like I couldn't siege base because my Heart didn't let me regen it enough.
Yeah, I always find
So,
it kind
yeah.
of sad that Slark's passive regen more than a heart does.
I mean,
No.
I'm okay with that just because it's just specific to that, but 2% definitely wasn't enough. And also, Magic Wand got a slight buff, which was nice because Magic Wand wasn't that good. Stick was really good. Magic Wand wasn't. And what other
Necro
changes are
ones are a
there?
little bit stronger, which I like, because it always felt
Yeah,
like
yeah.
you needed to complete the item before it was good, but now.
Yeah, it's really nice actually.
Okay.
Refresh orb, different components. I think the attack speed never helped anybody.
Oh no, Refresher is big because before you would just get on every single hero as a 6th item. Like Gyrocopter Refresher was a 5th item, even.
Right.
But now you can't just mindlessly spam it because it doesn't give as much damage attack speed.
Oh, so you're saying the damage does matter.
But it was too good for heroes that weren't spellcasters.
Okay. Which is
Vlad's. Oh, sorry.
yeah. Sorry, no, that's fine.
I was gonna say Vlad's got. It works now for ranged heroes. That's pretty.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, I like that.
That's a really strong item. Like every team needs one of those now. I mean, they started
Yeah.
it before, but not always. Now I think you always see the item.
Yeah, just
Um,
because it makes it helps range carries as well. For obvious reasons, right? But now
Yeah.
as a support, you can actually build it as a core item, and it'll be worth it.
Yeah, do you see a Ghost Scepter doesn't? It got a slight nerf. It got a buffed and cost 2 less attributes, which is a nerf to item. But now you can TP while Ghost Sceptered.
Yeah. So against like melee carries that typically you would go scepter and then you'd be fucked like 2 seconds later, you can actually start TPing. And against like heroes like Troll and Jug will talk over as well. You can't just like cast the ultimate and kill them, right? Like you have
Yeah.
options now.
And sorry, there's one more thing. Oh, Pipe is actually useful now. Because before Pipe was just I think it was actually just a bad item. But now the Magic Resistance Aura makes it pretty useful, I guess.
You get kind of.
I don't know. I hate the item.
I mean, a big part of it is
Uh,
protecting a creep wave, walking up the ramp, right?
Yeah.
Now
I
it gives
don't-
you a bit more help.
Does it affect creeps?
Allies, nearby allies. I assume so, because
Rubik Aura.
yeah,
didn't
Rubik's
affect
Aura is
creeps.
also affect creeps, so I assume like it's a.
No, it doesn't.
What?
Rubik's Aura doesn't affect creeps.
Didn't I just read it specifically? It says it does.
They changed it, right? But
Yeah,
like
now, it says
before-
now. Yeah, so I'm saying in this patch it changed Rubik, so I assume it's in tangent with the
Okay.
type as well.
Yeah, so that's sort of neat. It's sort of funny how Rubik Aura didn't affect creeps because I remember I was playing with PPD and his Rubik I was Chen, and he maxed his aura before I left because we could make our creeps tanky. So yeah, Dota 2.
Right.
Okay, we are done with the items.
Oh wait. Atos got a buff. 30 int OP. That's the item in the game.
That's your item.
Alright. That's my item. Oh yeah, and attacking a ward can no longer miss. That's the best change in this patch.
Oh, dude, man, attacking uphill as a CM was like.
Yeah. It took 5 hits to kill a ward. And I missed 8 times, and then a Spear Breaker would charge me and I would die. And then I would cry and leave the game. So yeah. Okay, done with items?
Items. Okay, Abaddon is now you could cast Borrow Time when you're disabled. So I was talking to Bliss about this earlier. I was like, here's a scenario, right? Your entire team gets ravaged. You pop Borrow Time to get out of it. Then you Aphotic Shield somebody else to get out of it. I mean, his cast animation on Aphotic Shield is pretty bad, but at least there's something you could do. I
Sorry,
think
what are you
it's
talking about? With that?
Abaddon, you could cast Borrow Time while.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, you play with the Abaddon player all the time.
It's
so.
a good buff. It means you can like Abaddon destroys Ravage and stuff.
Oh, actually, let's skip to Alchemist bit first, right? Because I think this hero, like, it's broken, and he will suddenly make us think about all these other heroes that could have agonyms on them. So the important thing number one, Grievous Greed now grants 4x gold bounty from. If you take the first rune of the game, you're getting 400 extra gold. And obviously, every rune after that is 4x multiple. And then Alchemist can now cast Aghanim Scepter to directly grant any ally hero all Aghanim Scepter's bonus as a buff. So the stats upgraded is there, and as well as the spell-ish upgrade. So for example, if you cast Chemical Rage onto the Witch Doctor allied, he gets whatever, the 400 health, as well as his own Aghanim ultimate.
Wait,
which is...
I thought it was the other. I thought.
No, you were right. You're right. They
Yeah.
get the stats and they get their ultimate. So like originally we wouldn't say, oh, like, you know, treeing Aghanim Scepter is a cool idea, but he will never be able to farm it. Well, you don't have to farm it now because Alchemist will do it for you. OP? Not OP?
I don't know if it's OP because of the fact that you're still a core alch, because I don't think you're going to be like a support.
You're a mid alch, right? Because you're
Yeah,
you're getting
mid or
bounty runes for
carry.
days.
Yeah, mid or carry. I think like mid alch could have some applications because you get bounty rune, and then you've instantly got a bottle and like boots. If you go like the fast bottle rush, anyways, and then that can help out. If you play it as a carry, you've got like gloves of haste instantly, and you could get a Midas really fast and scale that way. But the issues with alch are still the fact that yeah, you scale, but the actual hero gets kited like forever, right?
Yeah, but okay, here's the crazy idea. You stay fling out, you go Midas from the suggestion you made, right? You're farming for your whole team, right? Your teammates are these like support heroes that could transition late, like in a Visage with Aghanims, like an AA with Aghanims. And then you pick 2 other Aghanims carriers. Yeah, you're putting all your farm, but essentially you're extending your own inventory slots as well as the inventory slots of your teammates. Not good.
I think that part's pretty good. It probably helps teams too, like where you have a hard 5 support, and then, for example, like I don't ever know if this would be a thing, but Kurt, let's say you play like Witch Doctor, PPD plays like Tree, and then Fierce playing Alch, right? Typically, you would get the Ags first on Witch Doctor, and then PPD would have to like hard
And then
support after.
PPD would never get the tree on eggs.
Yeah, exactly. But now, all of a sudden, you've got a scenario where you can actually, because that would be really useful, and you could draft supports where they actually have useful Ags ultis. Like,
Yeah, it's
Visage AA.
it's cool. It's just that you have an Alchemist.
that's what I mean. That's what I just said.
Like,
You
yeah,
still
I
have
agree
an
with
alch.
that. Yeah,
But
like,
people
the
play
hero
mid
has,
alch
like,
all the time, or at least like Super did.
Yeah,
I
This
mean,
team.
you're still
he
stuck
played
with
it
an
like
alch.
twice this patch, and I think he went like 1-1 or something, right?
Well, he played it twice this patch because you don't get 4x gold bounty from runes.
I mean, I don't. I mean, that's nice. That's good for sure. But like, you have an Alchemist.
Yeah, that's
Like,
what.
if the hero becomes OP, it's gonna be because of this. You abuse this Aghanims and the 4x bounty gold, but like, it feels like you might just be down a hero with that hero. Honestly, I don't know. Maybe he's Imba.
Still,
I think
yeah,
he's the ultimate late game hero for the fact that you could give.
that part I kind of.
You give them 400
Don't
extra
agree with.
health.
But because like you're still an alch. Like at the end
You're
of
still
the day,
spending gold to do it.
yeah, I think it does. You can do some cool lineups though, right? Where you can run 2 supports that have really good Ags upgrades. Like you wouldn't run Lion Ags, by the way. It's just I still think that's not very good. But if you do AA plus like another hard support like Witch Doctor, and you could get
It
both
makes
of them
your
Ags.
it makes your supports really tanky too.
Yeah, exactly. I think that
But-
part is kind of cool.
I mean, he's probably viable. It's just I don't like how he got viable, to be honest. Not a fan.
Broken. Okay. Ancient Apparition nerfs, or sorry, changes.
Buff.
Buff. Axe nerfs. Cool. By the way,
Actually, the buff is pretty big. I mean, the nerf to Axe. Because counter Helix not triggering before the attack lands, it hurts your farming quite a bit. Like you take more damage in the jungle, and you take more damage in fights without dealing the same in counter Helix. And also, since counter Helix is on a cooldown, you get less counter Helixes because the attack actually has to fully land. So since the first one starts later, that means that your second one is going to trigger later too. So it's a pretty decent nerf to Axe.
I did check. Because before, if you spam S, yeah, Berserker called you would spin more. I checked.
Wait, can I bring something up by the way? Trough said you go Wisp Tiny mid, you go Alch Lina bot, pick whatever off lane, and then you farm a Scepter for your Tiny mid in as a safe lane. So you just like sack the Alch pretty much, okay, and then you just get your Tiny a really quick Ags, and then all of a sudden you've got like a blink Ags trend
he has-
with like 10
No, he
10
has
minutes worth
fucking
of Wisp.
eggs butterfly at 12 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That part is
Yeah,
kind
no.
of cool.
There are some really cool things, and like, yeah, Oak is probably good. Man, I hate that concept. Like just pooling allies. I don't like that in Dota. I think.
What a guy Trough is.
Yeah, I think Bisa came up with that one.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah.
Go him too.
Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe Troll came up with it separately. But before I went to dinner, Bisa was saying that.
Okay, so you were saying that X hard nerfs, pretty big nerfs.
Sorry?
Okay, moving on.
Yeah,
Bane-
Axner's really hard. I'm like trying to read Twitch chat because it's so entertaining. It's on my phone below me. Should I close that? I should close that.
Remember when we used to do that for our show? That was like
Yeah,
the most
it wasn't
distracting
good.
thing ever.
Okay, I'll stop reading Twitch chat.
I mean,
No
it's
more
up to
Twitch
you
chat.
if you want to keep reading Twitch chat. Bane got a little buff here and there. I don't think anything's
Bat
great.
Rider.
Right, Bat Rider's got a little bit changed. He, on face value, Flame Break does less damage, but if you have one Napalm stack on them, it does the same damage as the old Flame Break. Obviously, it's not burst damage over, but as soon as you have two Napalm stack over them, you start to do more damage with the new Flame Break than Break. But I think the fact that his Firefly got nerfed, and the fact that you get much less gold in jungle now, so you don't really have.
It's not like you got less gold in jungle relative to Bane though.
Right, because the lane got nerfed too. Is that what you're saying?
And it has to be nerfed like this because you can kill mud golems with Firefly now. So I think Bat Rider is sort of similar. Like it's harder for him to start into jungle, but he doesn't get screwed over by mud golems, which is really big for Bat Rider.
Fair enough. So you think the hero is about just about the same? Or you think he got buffed or nerfed?
I have no clue, but
I think the flame break thing is kind of cool because it makes it so that blink heroes are really hard.
But they were already really hard for.
Yeah. But now it lasts forever.
That's true.
And I think I think like you said, because Lumi was the one that told me, is like if you just have a bunch of stacks of napalm, then the flame break overall as a whole does more damage. I kind of like that. I think the changes aren't huge though, one way or another.
I think I like it more now. I like the flame break change too. It's synergistic and it's nice how you're not RNG in the jungle.
Yeah.
Beastmaster
Beast.
buffs here and there. The attack point buff on the boar is pretty OP considering the fact that he has the inner beast aura. So Fata is, he's the one that spams.
Yeah,
beast.
I think the hero's over buffed at this point.
Think so?
I think he was.
Well, you're saying
very
that
strong
because
last
your
match.
teammate plays it, but very little other teams plays it.
No, the C scene plays it. They were telling me they run it as like a. They value it in like first 3 every time now, just because of the fact too that the Hawk, that there are so, like Kurt said in the beginning, that there are so few things that allow you to consistently spot the Roshan. Like that's so huge. It's like against a Beastmaster, you just like put the Hawk up at all times anyways around the Rosh pit, and
Hawk is super strong.
yeah, exactly.
Well-
and it just, sorry, shoot.
There's less hero that could scout the Roshan because those heroes are not commonly picked, right? Like when Lone Druid or when
Lone Druid can't scout Roshan though.
Yeah.
Okay, when Nature Prophet was around, like that thing was constantly scouted. And we haven't seen that hero in particular for a while.
I mean, even it's not the same way though, because like Nature Prophet treants are like 290 move speed or 310 move speed or something. Hawk is like 400 and it gets flying vision over the hill and they don't.
Yeah,
know
I'm
that
not
it's
saying
you.
that Trian is just as good as
Like,
Hawk, but I'm saying
the
there's
vision from
alternate ways.
Beastmaster is different in that the enemy team doesn't know you're seeing them.
True.
But anyways, yeah, I think Beastmaster's over buffed.
So too.
And Bloodseeker?
Yeah, so I actually didn't understand what this one meant. I think
It's a pretty big buff to Thirst. It means that before you would need them to be at like what if they're at like 1%, you would get like 39 damage from them or whatever. Now if they're at 25%, you get 40 damage from them. From the Thirst bonus. 40 damage and movement speed. So it's a big buff in that. Does that make sense? Or
yes, and this matters because
it makes his passive better. It's just a straight up buff to it. It's like a 33% buff.
no, like as in how does it affect like in terms of him being picked, what role he
I
plays?
thought Bloodseeker. I don't want to talk about it. I had a strat with Bloodseeker. I'm not gonna say
Okay,
what
so
it
you're
was,
saving strats.
but for the last patch.
For
So I think
TI5.
this strat makes him better.
Yeah, so at least for me, it's very difficult to wrap like all these well, not new heroes, but like the heroes with the 10 new items and the aghanims, and the fact that Alchemist could farm an aghanim for you. Like, I don't know, it's so hard to just like look at these heroes and be like, oh yeah, it's great, it's good. But you know, then you get in Glimmer Veil and Lotus Orb and God knows what. Blitz, are you like peace? Because we haven't even heard you for like
What?
what?
No,
Okay.
I just talked about the Batrider and the Beastmaster thing.
That was
What are you
2
talking
heroes
about?
ago.
That was like 2 seconds ago.
All right, okay.
What am I gonna say about the Bloodseekers thing?
I don't know. You're
I'm not gonna sit here
Bloodseeker.
theory crafting whatever strat Kurt had to try to ruin it. It's like
Okay.
it's a buff. The hero itself for me doesn't feel super OP. I think that it needs some buffs, and I think that IceRog's doing it the same way, right? Where he's just like doing things bit by bit for certain heroes to see how it interacts with the rest of the game, to see like at what point it'll make or break it. So I'm all good with it.
Okay, Bounty Hunter, lots of change. Ink growth lets them have much needed mana pool in mid game. I'm not sure how I feel about the toss range getting nerfed, because now you're very dependent on having a whole bunch of people tracked, and then relying on the bounce range. It's like a very thematic change, right? It's like you're doing this ninja thing, you're doing bounces, but I don't know. And then track now seeing enemy
like
gold.
His shuriken's super strong at level 1 too. Like 150 damage for a level 1 nuke.
It has like some of the oddest scaling, right? Like I think level 2, from level 1 to level 2 you get a lot, and then not as much.
Only for the old one. This new one is just 75 level.
Oh, is that how oh yeah, they rescaled it. Okay.
Yeah, so it does a lot of damage, like 375 and a mini stun in AoE effectively, since track is like the toss bounce range is super far right now. I think it's one of the stronger nukes in the game. And it's I like the track showing how much gold the enemy has. I think that's cute.
Yeah, Blitz was talking about like, you know, when you see somebody saving up for Radiance or whatever. But most of the time you guys have a good hunch, right? Like, oh, you know, Vector hasn't bought an item for the past 10 minutes. You know what he's going.
I mean, you sort of know, but if you know exactly how long until like they get their blink dagger, that's huge, especially if it's on the support.
Yeah, that's fair. I think the
Then
other
you just smoke and gank them, because usually smokes on supports aren't worth it. But if they're 100 gold from their blink, like you're gonna kill them.
the other application is like late game. If you track somebody and you see
Oh,
they don't have buyback gold, because sometimes like as a caster, right, the enemy carry gets killed and you're like, oh, push, 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 and then the team gets scared because they're like, oh, there's buyback.
yeah.
Now you know.
Oh, that's a big one. I wonder if it like shows if they have buyback, or you have to calculate it yourself.
Man, you motherfucker, Lumi, that was
That Blitz. I was gonna quote you, and then you jumped in.
See, you talk about how I can't talk, or I'm not talking, but then you bring up my point.
No,
So
that was a great. That was an
nothing
excellent point, Blitz.
Blitz got memed.
I really did. Yeah, like I said, because there are certain scenarios I'll see, especially now that I cast more, where teams are just straight up afraid because they assume the enemy whatever has buyback up. And you guys think that too, right, Kurt? Whenever you play competitively,
Yeah, you assume
always
they have
assume.
buyback.
But then teams take advantage of that as well, right? In the sense that, like, I'll see certain teams will play greedy off of that fact because the enemy team is just so afraid to go high ground.
That's
Anyways.
so spooky.
Yeah, but if you know for a fact that they don't have buyback, then it really changes like a large facet of the game. I feel like I think
it just
I like
shows
the
you the number of gold they have. It doesn't show if they have buyback.
Yeah, so you have to calculate it yourself.
Yeah, but I mean, you get a rough idea. Like, if somebody
Yeah, you
just
have a
bought
rough
something,
idea.
then you're just like, oh, well, did they save first and then buy that? Like, you can't ever, late game especially, you never know when somebody's farming or if they're just off the map to sit in their base, right?
And usually heroes will have like either they have buyback and it's like 3k gold, or they have like 500 because they just bought something. So.
Exactly. So it's one of those things where now you can play around timings with bounty.
That's cool.
Yeah.
What if they're reliable golden? They have 1800 gold, but they could all be reliable.
I mean, that you can kind of calculate though for, right? Depending on how many kills. I mean,
Well, who knows? Anyways.
yeah.
Okay.
Whatever.
All right, Brewmaster changes. Cool. Bristleback.
Bristleback.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a buff or nerf? I mean, the movement speed obviously not nerf, but the nasal goo, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's a buff, but not really. Like, it doesn't really matter either. It just makes it worth getting level 2 and 4 more.
And you generally skill it like in a
BlitzDota?
bunch, right? You don't.
What I'm trying to think right now about what you actually how I'm trying to think of the item interactions because you could give this guy, like you said, the one thing. What is that? The one that
Lotus
reflects.
Orb?
Yeah, if you give him the Lotus Orb, he's pretty annoying.
No, the Medallion or Courage upgrade, and you have an extra 10 armor bristleback with 30% evasion running at you.
Yeah, that's true too. And then you
And-
Lotus Orb him, and he's unkillable.
We haven't covered Kotl yet, but I think Kotl's cooldown reduction interaction is the best with bristleback.
You just spam 2 quills and get things started.
Yeah, because quills add up quickly if you get them in like numbers like that.
Well, we'll move to him later. Broodmother is no longer, or Incapacitating Bite is no longer a unique attack modifier, so okay. Then you got a damage buff on the, which makes
cool.
sense, right? Everybody is
It's good.
removing, their UAM. So
Now you can go Skatey SMI Broodmother, and they will move at 100 move speed.
all right, OP Centaur, Aghanim Scepter, which Alchemist can farm for you. Stampede now reduce all incoming damage by 70% and allow you to run through obstructions, trees, cliff, anything. Destroy trees. OP?
Can it not be purgeable? Oh no, it's not purgeable. Okay.
Wait, did you just test it or just...
No, it used to have a note that said it was purgeable. And now it's not there, so I'm assuming it can't be purged now.
So Blitz, yes.
I think this change is pretty ridiculous because as a initiating thing, it means that for the first 3 seconds that you're using it for, you just can't fight, right? Like it's not efficient to use your spells that are early damage dealers, just because of the fact that most of it's going to get reduced and then everything's on cooldown, and then you're fucked when it matters, right?
Yeah.
And then on top of that, if you're like halfway across the map from like a core hero, and they get initiated on, and you just pop this, like that's insane. The fact that 70% of all damage is reduced, like you can actually like catch up now, and you can get across the map because you can like parkour and gallop across like trees and shit like that.
Like everyone's tried to contest or fight Roshan when they have a Bat Rider. Can you imagine like there's 5 heroes running down the cliff into your Roshan pit?
Yeah,
Like that's gonna be. I think this is OP.
Yeah,
Like of all the changes.
I think this is like you can actually run a 1-position Centaur like pretty effectively now.
Alchemists.
Yeah, exactly. Like just the fact that you can save, that it works on both ends, that you can save people and you can initiate with it now. Before, if you used it to save somebody, they were usually pretty fucked no matter what. Like, they were pretty dead, right? But now the damage reduction means that for the most part, people can't really contest you in fights. It's kind of like a ghetto Omni ult, but at the same time they run hella fast.
And do damage and slow you.
Oh yeah, it's sick. It's very great stuff.
Or you could just farm
Yeah.
Blink and then get a 10-minute axe from your...
Oh yeah,
you
farm
can
Blink
do the
on
app
a Red
thing.
Center, and in your Alchemist safe lane
You're
farms your... Okay, I'm done.
Game's broken. Okay, Chaos Bolt changes. Cool. Blink got buff. Rocket Flare got buff. Crystal Maiden got buff.
Klink's buff is pretty big actually, I think. Because before, that hero was really hard to pick fights with, because you needed to do it when you got a fresh creep. And if you had like 10 seconds left, it wasn't long enough. But now if you have 10 seconds left, you can get a new creep mid-fight, and you won't like
What's
die.
what's the creep that got a HP nerf? Is it the Furbog?
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe something else.
Anyways, Crystal Maiden buff, which is the next one we're on, I guess. I think that's pretty big. 50% movement speed and attack speed for 4.5 seconds is a lot.
Especially
That
with,
hero
yeah.
wasn't very picked. I think Vici picked him a couple times. So that I think the hero's good right now, like where it is.
You mean after this change is good?
Yeah, after this change, I think the hero's strong even and definitely pickable.
Darkseer, more buffs. Wall now lasts 45 seconds on all level.
Curtis,
Let's.
don't you know this hero because your team You got like the premier Darkseer player or some shit.
I don't know.
Dude, I don't play Darkseer. I don't know how this really changes things.
Ancho's nice, I guess. 5 seconds. That's really long. Wall of Replica. I guess it makes it worth skilling. Cause like right now, when you skill wall at level 1, it's so that you hit them with the wall and you do 150 damage.
Yes.
So
I don't think the
cost a
extra
lot less at level
duration really matters, right? The two
It
places
sort
it
of
matters
matters at,
is
like,
Roshan,
fight.
yeah, and uphill
Yeah.
fights, which
Yeah.
you know you're not fighting there with a level 1 ult. Hopefully.
Like usually, even at 15 seconds, you could usually they either walk through the wall and took the damage and create an illusion. Like it didn't really zone them out for 15 seconds. Like no one waits 15 seconds because of the Darkseer wall. And once that 15 seconds is over, like, oh, now I can cross, you know? So I don't know about the duration change. I mean, it's definitely a buff. Maybe you'll hit someone twice with it as they go through it and then they retreat. But I don't think that's a big deal. I think the biggest deal is the mana cost. Because Darkseer has no mana.
Oh, he does, but all his
Oh,
spells
and now he
cost
can kill Mud Golems, which is big. Because jungle stacks won't be RNG.
Dazzle, 4 more damage per second. How long does that poison last? Like quite a bit, right?
Yeah,
I
but
have no idea.
I don't think that this, like, I think we talked about
Mid
this.
Dazzle.
Too. It's like, it doesn't really change too much on the hero, I feel. Like, it doesn't make or break the game.
I agree with that.
Yeah. It's
Alright. Death Prophet, small buff to early mid game.
cool. Disruptor.
Isn't it still the cooldown, though? That, like, it's
Yeah,
so
the
hard
cooldown's so long and. Yeah, and you're a Death Prophet.
for.
Kinetic Field getting an extra 0.4 second, which seems really small, but his ultimate does more damage towards the tail end of the spell, so every half a second is welcome to get more. Which, again, when your Alchemist farms and Aghanims for you, you know, you now mute stuff, right? You mute their item. Was it break? I'm getting it confused because it's late. You silence.
think you
Why
mute-
don't we just say you silence their items and they can't use it? Why do we have to use this fancy jargon?
No, we'll get used to it in like one week.
No,
or
we will
something.
not. We will not.
You will not.
I will not. All right, DK. So Blitz was saying, credit to Blitz, that this hero would be really hard to deal with in the mid lane now because of armor, his regen, and now 35 or 20% to 35% damage reduction.
And
How
that
to last
dumbass Lothar's item, so it reduces your damage by 75%, and then you lose the game.
Yeah, honestly, as a mid laner, it's already hard to harass DKs out.
Oh, come
But-
on. Storm?
Dude, no, but this makes it, like, actually really difficult to deal with in a lot of ways. Because you're spamming Breathe Fire for... I mean, it doesn't hurt Storm because I spam Remnant for farm anyways, right?
Yeah.
But straight up trading for CS right now, 8 seconds is, like, ridiculously long, I feel.
Yeah, but 20% on like a 60 damage base hero like Quap just makes it even damage as DK because it's 49 base,
Yeah, but,
and he doesn't go Bracer.
But even in, like, the mid game and stuff, if you just Breathe Fire on, like, 4 heroes, it's still,
Yeah, I
like, really
agree.
effective.
It's huge in the mid game, really.
Yeah.
Like
And the-
honestly, like Shadowfiend now is 50%, so it's a bit higher. But all you need to do with that, you don't need to do damage with it. You just need to hit them with it.
Yeah, exactly. And then I think that the reason why that change was made also was because before you would have to save Breathe Fire just so you could fucking get kills. But now Corrosive Breath can actually kill, which I think is really cool.
Do you guys think they should change how the damage reduction formula works? Like, it's fully additive right now. Do you think they should make it change to
What,
stacks
to-
diminishing?
I think the one with the Sanj item will, because that reduces their damage. Like,
All
wait,
damage.
is that how it works?
No,
yeah, it
they
reduces all damage they do
all damage,
instead
yeah.
of like. I don't think it would like reduce it on their hero damage, which would mean it stacks additively. But like for this and like Shadow Fiend, for example, I think that would be pretty insane. Like you'll just reduce 85% of them straight up. I think they do need to do that.
It's
What you said.
too strong. Okay, Earth Spirit. I don't know about this hero. I see mana cost nerf. Yay.
Yeah, my friend said it's not that big a nerf to Earth Spirit. Like it's sort of a nerf, but it doesn't really matter. Heroes still
At least
top 5
you
heroes in the game.
duels off magnetize.
Yeah, that's nice. But like that hero's still like unique. Like there's some things he can do that no other hero can do in the mid game. And
You
that won't change
initiate,
bottom.
you have an escape, you have a way to swap your teammates out essentially without putting yourself in danger. You silence and stun.
Yep,
You have
highest
an
nuke
AoE
damage in the
ultimate.
game.
Yeah, there's you. Oh my god, it's
Oh, and his eggs, you cannot break base against his aghanim's. It's impossible.
You
Yeah,
can
this hero-
if you Lotus Shield and then he
can't.
stone himself.
Oh, he stones himself. Okay. Okay.
This hero just should never get added to the CM. That's like my only thing.
Speaking of heroes that should never get added to CM, we'll get there, I guess.
Alright, Elder Titan buffs. Oh, you play this hero a lot, Aui.
Not anymore. Can't bug abuse.
Alright, Enchantress, a hero that you also used to play. You could now keep enchanting the
This
same
one's-
creep. Your Chen.
This one's interesting. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, Blitz was saying your Chen. And
Oh.
your Chen with damage.
Yeah, you're shitty, Chen.
Yeah, I mean you're not.
That's what I said, Blitz.
You don't get your obviously you don't get the ult and shit, but
Well, no,
You're
I think it's the teleport part.
The
The
problem
teleport.
is, Enchantress needs her enchant up to gank. Because you need the slow because you don't have some stupid ass Test of Faith 1 billion damage nuke.
yeah, I
And
mean
if
I'm
you
just,
enchant the same creep, you don't have multiple creeps. I mean, it's nice, but it's not like super game breaking on her. And also, you don't really want to max enchant on Enchantress.
yeah.
So that's sort of. But it's nice, you know, like you can farm a lot better with it. Because before, like, you would get a stack, you would have like 2 stacks, so you can only farm 1 with a Wildkin, for example.
The
And
cool
Impedus
thing, though-
piercing spell immunity
Yeah.
is huge. Sorry, go ahead.
Doesn't that actually give you a reason to pick enchant over Chen? Whereas before Chen was the better option like 10 times out of 10, but now your enchant can actually deal quite a bit of damage in fights and stuff like that.
Honestly, she's still like 1.0 strength gain and 0 armor.
Yeah, but when Alchemist
But-
farms an axe for you, you have help. And then you also have a sick
When
ult.
Alchemist farms
We
the egg
can't
for you
ever
and you have
forget
a
about
Shiva's
that hero.
guard.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that like what Enchantress has always been is like she's stronger early game than Chen. But Chen got the change where he gets 2 creeps at level 3, so he's better than Enchantress early game. And he's better the entire game. So I don't think Enchantress will ever replace Chen. But she does have maybe the ability to transition to a carry, like if you're really out of options. Because as far as junglers go, you have better carry options than Enchantress below him, which is Enigma. So yeah.
Right.
I don't know.
Midnight Pulse, cast point improve, yay. Now there's a reason to level up Black Hole apart just from the do a lot more damage. And the mana
Yeah,
cost
I
also
don't-
got buffed.
I don't really like the change where it does less further from the center. Just because I thought that was cool how like if you cast on them right in the middle, you do extra damage.
Yeah, but you never really cared about the damage before, right? You care about the stun.
Oh, I mean you didn't, but your first gank it mattered the damage. Like I would cast on the middle of them, on top of them.
Right.
But yeah, not that important, I guess.
It helps
Enigma
with
buffed.
the mana cost thing. Helps with the refresher.
I'm gonna
lot,
be right back,
yeah.
grab some water. I'm really thirsty.
Actually, the new refresher doesn't have the part where it increases your mana pools. It increases your regen by a. Alright, Gyro no longer has a cast point, so you can walk and then Rocket Barrage and keep. Pretty awesome.
Yeah, we talked about this, right? I think Kurt definitely wants to be a part of this because he keeps talking about. I think he keeps talking about gyro support, and the fact that remember when Lush was super popular, it wasn't like anything changed in terms of damage. It was the fact that you would just instantly cast, what was that spell called? Edict, and you would be impossible to deal with now. And
Essentially,
I think,
you're doing that, right? Though this edict doesn't hit towers.
Why
Yeah,
is my
you-
chat spamming Punch Lumi? What'd you say?
nothing. We're talking about
Alright.
gyro though having a no, like the old edict for Lush, where you just run
Yeah.
at people now with Rocket Barrage.
You've played with Lampercat, right?
Yeah, Lampercat's gonna be sick happy about
Have you
this.
played with a Lampercat, Gyro?
Yeah, it's useless.
Yeah, but I think this is a pretty big buff to Gyro mid. Well, Gyro in general, right? Just his laning,
Yeah, for sure.
which I think is good because that hero was not good.
I still feel like this hero sucks, but whatever.
Really?
Yeah,
I like him. I sort of like him mid, maybe with an eggs.
You know, oh my god. You know the C scene? I don't want to ruin this for them, but whatever, I'll say it. They had this strat where you would cast like you'd put like Gyro mid, and then you picked Invoker,
Oh,
and then you would pick like an Exort short lane Invoker, and then you would just level your
Solar
Rocket
Strike.
Brush. Yeah, and then you would just like global strike people, and they would take like 800 damage instantly.
yeah, you know his rocket does 500 damage.
Yeah, I know.
What the
This, like,
hell?
they had this like they had this strat against us, and you would just like you were a support and you knew you were dead. Like it was the saddest thing in the world.
All right, Oscar gets stuff.
You know, I just want to say I said eggs and Lumi didn't say Alchemist eggs. I'm very disappointed.
Yeah,
Oscar.
the thing is, if I keep saying it, it loses its effect, right? I've gotta pick my point.
All right. Speaking
Yeah.
of heroes who have egg names upgraded,
No,
Huskar.
you don't want it. I
fine.
don't know if you want it. The cast range increase is pretty nice because a lot of times you want to help your team. Or maybe not. Maybe you just want to throw it and stuff. You know, when we read the Alchemist thing, I originally thought you gave everybody chemical rage, like his chemical.
That would be crazy.
Would it
Like,
like
you have 100 regen on every hero and 1 BAT per
one
minute,
BAT? Yeah, that's insane. But the
and
thing is,
extra move speed?
like, think of the possibility of the current axe, right? Like, it's just so insane.
Yeah, but the
Both of
other
them
one
would be yeah. It would be even better. You just pick a
It'd be so
drone.
broken. How could you beat that? Can you imagine a sniper with 6 slots in this patch, and then he's on 1.0 BAT?
Right, but well, Sniper
But-
doesn't have an act yet, right? So we can't really say. Imagine
Ha, ha,
if
ha.
yeah, imagine if Sniper
ha, ha,
Axe
ha.
just like assassinated everybody. At the same time.
Anyway.
All right, okay, Invoker. So Invoker, big int buff and some quality of life stuff with Invoke, and max level Deafening Blast. Blitz, you were really excited about initiating with this one, right?
Yeah. So think about it like this: you're like level 25. They're trying to high ground siege, and then you blink in, and then like you
Blink behind them.
Deafening, yeah, you blink behind them, and you deafening blast them up, and you just win the positional game. Like
This is
I
actually
think
really
it's
good against Centaur Orb too, right? Like they charge at you and you like nope.
Yeah, you throw it everywhere, so it's actually pretty useful. I don't think like the hero is gonna suddenly be OP now, but it's pretty awesome.
You still have to be at level 25 to use
Yeah,
this.
you're still gonna feel really cool
It's
while
cool.
you use it. Yeah,
It's like
gonna be-
Ravage. It's better than Ravage.
Yeah, exactly.
It's actually significantly better than Ravage. It'll be higher damage, I think, right?
It comes
Same
out
as
much
level 3
faster
Ravage.
than a Ravage.
Does it? I have no
Yeah.
idea how it works. Have you
It's
watched it?
really fast, yeah. It's just tested.
Yeah, it's way better than Ravage, and it disables for longer disarms.
Yeah, it's awesome. It
Yep.
makes you feel cool too if you're casting it like in every direction.
And that's the most important part. Let's be
Yeah,
honest.
exactly.
But don't you always
Invoker
feel cool when
got a
you're
big
level 25 Invoker anyways? Like you're like, okay, I can cast everything.
No, but he got a pretty big buff. Like with the not triggering cooldown if it swaps ability slots.
Yeah.
That's really big because especially if you're quals Wex, like you want 7 in Wex before you skill your ulti. And when you're ganking, you need 4 spells, right? Like you need Cold Snap, Ghost Walk, EMP, and Tornado or whatever. So being able to keep your spell without having to switch it twice saves a lot of time because your cooldown would be like 20 or 25 seconds or whatever is at level 1.
Relocate now double clicks to Fountain, which matters. A lot of times
It's
when
nice.
yeah, it's nice. Quality of life. Macro
Super
Pyre
fast for
gets
saving.
buff. Cool. Juggernaut nerfs. Yay. Blade Fairy cooldown increase to 42 for the first level. Blade Fairy now has the same spell immunity, passive spell behavior as other spell. Previously, you also remove your pause. Healing ward movement speed decreased to 4. Anomaly slash no longer mini stuns on cast. And using items and abilities anomaly no longer requires to face a direct. I mean, I think the biggest nerf to Juggernaut is just Mask of Madness.
The quelling blade thing to Roshan, I feel, is just as
That's
big
true too. Yeah.
Yeah, you can't go and solo Rosh anymore.
I think the
think-
hero is still serviceable, right?
Of course. I think the Blade Fury cool. Like, I think a lot of the nerfs are good. Like, the Blade Fury one, 42 seconds is such a long time, and most people just leave the spin at level 1 or 2. But now it actually feels like instead of going pure stats, you have to at least level it once or twice now, right?
Which is fine because Alchemist is farming an axe for you, so you have to stats from that. And a strong ult too.
So it doesn't, yeah, exactly.
So
it
there's
doesn't
like
matter.
actually no change.
I mean, it's just the Quelling Blade in the Mom one, right? Because the Omni Slash no longer mini stunning. Kurt, do you really think that matters in the early game? Because you're gonna die in like half a second anyways, right? It matters once
yeah.
you get a Ghost Scepter and stuff, but
No, it matters because you can't cancel channeling stuff with your Omni Slash through BKB.
oh, that's true too.
That's actually pretty big, I think. But I think Jug's still good, and like being able to use your healing word reliably during Omni Slash is quite nice, especially against Rubik. Yeah.
Okay,
The silence.
So the one that you guys are exciting about, which is Chakra Magic, now adds a buff that reduces cooldown of the next spell being cast by 4 seconds at max level. The buff lasts 12 seconds.
What's
and
the cooldown on Chakra?
It's 19.
Okay.
Or was it?
Is it
16?
at all levels? They buffed it.
Yeah, I'll check
like
right
it
now.
gets cooldown reduction for that. I can't check because my stream's on and
Yeah.
I don't want to move from the professionals. I mean, I could check, but I'm lazy.
Keeper of the Light is 16. Sorry. 19 at level 1, and then 16.
Okay.
So you
That's-
were saying that it's OP for Bristleback because he could pop off Quill.
For quite a few heroes, like you can get 2 Slaughter stuns off in a row, like 2 Lena stuns off in a row, stuff like that.
I was thinking of like things like Zeus bolts and lightning Shrek.
I mean, Zeus has no cooldowns. That hero just kills everyone instantly. But yeah,
You could
It has
you
a
could
lot
stagger
of-
your spells in such a way where you cast like 3 spells, right?
if you chakra yourself, and then you cast chakra on ally, is your chakra like also lower cost? I guess that's something to test.
I would imagine so. Yes.
Because then the buffer lasts 12 seconds. But since you chakra yourself before, your cooldown would only be 12 seconds too. So you could use it twice on them in a row. Like if they wait 11 seconds to cast a spell, and then you chakra them again, and then they cast a spell again. But yeah.
Unker no longer turns when casting torrents.
That's a
see.
big one for his laning. Because
Yeah.
before you couldn't hit a torrent in lane against a good player.
Well, I mean, the animation still shows. Like he'll still
Yeah, but
raise
you
the
don't
sword.
know. Like he would literally face where he's torrenting. So you could just dodge it.
And then the rest is
And
kind
the
of.
torrent cooldown is now the same as X marks spot cooldown, which means that you can just spam them together. I think Kunkka's strong this patch.
I feel like
I
Kunko
really
was
like
always
that hero.
strong. His ultimate was really insane.
Yeah, I think he's good support.
Elsie got a ton of buffs, and then the duel to the death agonyms, which unfortunately it breaks apart when there's 2k range. It's not really a duel to the death when, because there's some
I don't
sick
think-
stuff you could do with this if it's not 2k range. Right? Imagine you're
Yeah.
dueling and
You
Chen
Chen
sends
someone.
Elsie back, like so the hero's just walking to the fountain.
Yeah, but I don't think the X buff is good, but the Moma Courage is pretty big, I think. In lane, like you're gonna get a lot of procs. And it'll actually steal life. Because before you level 1 proc Moment Courage is only for the extra hit. Like the Lifestealer never did anything in lane.
Isn't this really cool? With the couldn't LC rush the new item, the mirror one, and then you get an Ags as well with Alk? I know we keep using that meme, but whatever. You farm an Ags and then you cast that mirror thing on yourself, while you also cast
Duel?
your Ag. Yeah, your duel.
mean,
and
like-
so the duration lasts forever. So even if you lose the duel, you're still like causing a lot of people to get stunned, right? Especially
what-
supports.
Wouldn't you just rather have the silver blade?
You don't need the eggs to do that. So.
Yeah, I mean, I get no matter what, it's kind of neat. It's funny to me. Yeah, you could get the silver blade too. Yeah, exactly. You just
Silver
can
blade
almost
sounds
kill
pretty
somebody.
sick on this hero.
Yeah.
So tanky.
Yeah, it's definitely good. Just take off the evasion from PA and then duel her.
Yeah, I think that the hero is
Yeah,
amazing.
Legion needed buffs though. I don't think that hero won a single game in the past like 100 games it was in.
I think Fear said too at the summit. He's like, "This is like the most worthless hero. I don't know why people keep picking it."
PPD said they were wrong about that though, because Legion was good in that meta. But in this one, he definitely became bad. Moving on, or you guys have anything else?
Well, Leshrac
No, we're good.
continues to receive more and more buffs.
I
I think
wish they stopped
Leshrac's what?
buffing lightning.
Of
I
all
hate
the
that
things.
spell.
Lightning is really good already.
I know it sucks getting it. I hate that spell. It's when I play Leshrac, I don't want to get lightning. I mean, it's good, but like Leshrac, like if you get lightning, you basically can't use his ulti, and his ulti is really strong
Well, why can't you use his ulti?
because when you cast lightning, you get out of position, and you don't have stats to be tank enough to run in.
Yeah, but when you have an Aghanim from Alchemist, you have to stat.
Oh my fucking god. Okay.
The thing is about memes, Kurt, they never
I
die.
just got
but...
memed. Let's help.
You're just alright. I think honestly, a lot of the items that came into this game really help out Leshrac. I mean, I knew it before, but I keep giving Trough credit, so I will. But like, you get Lotus Orb, and what's the other one? The spell one that gives you like
Octarine
lifesteal
Core?
with it. Yeah, you get both of those items on Lesh, and all of a sudden you're like a fucking beast. Like you run into the middle of everybody, you can soak up a ton of damage. Your Ag's ulti deals an insane amount of damage. Like you,
Does he a Lotus Orb bar?
yeah, I think so. Like I think you can actually run like a core Leshrac in this meta.
So
I think
you
so
would
too.
skip things like Aghanims, Bloodstone.
No, I
Duels.
think I think Ags is still core on the hero. Like damage.
You think
is
Eggs is
insane.
core?
Like I still think the damage is insane from Ags.
I don't think Eggs is good on Leshrac. Even like Pamelian doesn't buy Eggs on Leshrac anymore.
Oh, does he not anymore?
No,
okay,
he doesn't.
Maybe
He gets
not.
Yo Scepter.
Well, alright, he's S4 now or some shit, but I think that a lot of the new items really help out for Lesh, especially.
Yeah, I think Leshrac. I agree with you. Leshrac core is good dispatch for sure.
Yeah.
Lich armors, nice ice armor buff, chain frost projectiles debuff. Actually, the chain frost speeding up is pretty big deal because
It's good so that when Alchemist gives you an eggs, you bounce more. Okay.
We got that out of the way.
I didn't even. I wasn't even gonna go there, but okay. All right, Lifestealer now Feast. Actually, I was thinking about Feast and Battle Fairy because you could cleave more with your Lifesteal now. Unless that's not how. Yeah, I guess you can cleave off it. Is that an option, or is still things like Silver Blade or whatever that new item is, or Armlet is still much
cool
better?
on it because you can do a lot of damage to your first crit.
Or Deso, the new Deso, really cheap.
Yeah.
But the new Aghanims though, right?
Okay.
So you could 4-man, you could 3-man gank and 4-man gank with this now.
Is that how it works? Like you can assimilate someone and then infest someone?
Yes. And then you
That's
both
cool.
pop out, and do a frick ton of
So
damage.
you pop out and you do like 750 damage. That's pretty cool. Or like 600 damage, sorry. I wouldn't get eggs with him, and I think Lifestealer's still too easy to kite, even with these changes. Like, actually, the changes don't do anything to help him kite, and he's still not good in lane, which is a big problem. Actually, I don't know. He might be a bit better in lane because you can open wounds Lifesteal off the feast damage now, I think, whereas you couldn't before, I believe. Actually, I don't know. Could you? Hello?
Dude, I don't know.
I don't know. I don't play Lifestealer.
Okay,
I don't
you
play
could
that hero.
because you could Lifesteal spells, but holy shit. I felt so awkward. I was just silent. Anyways.
My bad, dude.
Yeah.
I left you hanging like that. Somebody messaged me something important. Are we good? Are we good on Lifestealer? Do
Yeah,
we still?
I think so.
Okay, so Lina, I think that's actually pretty big. That was you could like high ground, just kill a support instantly.
It was so sad.
You know,
What do
I
you do?
played a game as support Lina, and I farmed the eggs, and I had Bloodseeker, and I could one-shot their mid. It does 1330 damage at level 16, and I one-shot their Queen of Pain.
Well,
Yeah,
the damage
it's-
doesn't change. Just the range is.
I could still do it. I think Lina didn't get enough of a nerf.
Because
Yeah.
the laning phase is still, she's probably one of the better laners in mid, and the Ags, the fact that it goes through BKB is still, like, not a lot of heroes can fight after they lose pretty much half or more of their HP pool, right? Like, it changes the way that you approach fights. When Alina just straight up ults you and you've got like 2k HP, then you've got half. Like, it changes the way that you play completely. and the fact that it almost kills supports pretty much is insane.
I think it is good to have a hero in Dota that, forget magic immune. I could go through it.
I just think that the problem though with the hero is that all of the setups for her items make too much sense, and it's way too good. Like, Yule synergizes with her so well, and you're gonna get it anyways. The fact that the Ags, like, there's no question that you're gonna go the item build that you're gonna go, right? And I think that's a little bit silly.
But
And
Lina
the
is
fact, oh sorry,
yeah.
continue.
Lina is one of those like hero that's so easy to Lotus Orb again. If you see your teammates getting
No, it's
Yules,
not easy.
But
Like,
you're
you're
just
saying
not
it's
gonna
easy.
go. Yeah, you're just not gonna go for the guy who's Lotus Orb.
Oh wait, you can Lotus Orb someone who's Geoscepter, I think, and purge it. Because you could purge Geoscepter before with
Yeah,
Diffusal.
but I still think that
That's really big.
I still think that the Lina ult is still
I mean,
incredibly sick.
Lina is broken because she has a 7-second cooldown stun, like for 2.5 seconds too. Like that's so strong.
Yeah,
So extended
her,
fights, her nukes are like 8.5-second cooldown, 7-second cooldown, high damage, high range.
even if you
and-
miss your spells, you're getting the buff from for your
Yeah.
soul as well. Like the hero, there's just too many things about it that make sense.
She is sort of more limited by mana because Geoscepter costs a bit more, but it's not enough in my opinion. I think Lina
Yeah,
is
it's
very
not gonna
strong
change
still.
it.
But I don't know. I'm not complaining. That's like gonna be top 2 favorite support this patch for me, I think.
Continue, Lumi.
Lone Druid, Aghanim Scepter, right? Let's start there. Your bear now don't have a leash range. If your hero dies, your bear still stays alive. So, I actually thought this was the second strongest Aghanims because how like cancerous it pro games and pub. Like, I don't know. I just
Bulldog
see
is like the happiest man alive.
I just see like
I-
split pushing up the wazoo, and it's not like when Prophet split push, you kill the Prophet, and maybe you could do something or force a buyback or push. It's just kill a bear and you just resummons.
I don't think so because the bear cooldown's still 140 or 120. Sorry.
Yes, it's really long, but
And-
you hold back for a bit, but you can still do it again.
Yeah,
And
but
again-
like Lone Druid in competitive, you can't fight without 2 bears. Like the reason why Lone Druid is good is because they have to kill a hero in your bear, like that's a hero's health, and then you resummon it. So that's why like Lone Druid was against Juggernaut. But you
Okay.
needed that second bear, and especially late game, like you're not gonna have 4 minutes of downtime to get your 2 bear summons up.
Okay, with this new change of the Aghanims allowing you to have essentially 2 heroes, right? Is there more incentive to... Because you used to just stack your bear and only your bear. Is there more incentive to play more of the hero as well? Like, because now Battlecry helps your damage, both teams. And it's okay if you die, or the bear die, like... Is it better to have 2 weaker hero, essentially, than...
I have no idea. I don't think anyone will buy eggs on Lone Druid. Like that bear.
Well, no, you don't
dies-
buy it because Alchemists give it to you, but...
Okay, I don't think I will have their Alchemist buy an eggs because like the bear dies in like 3 seconds to any late game carry still. And early game or mid game, when you're playing a Lone Druid, you want to group up and you won't want your bear to be that separate. And if you do want your bear to be separate, it'll be to split push out waves and you'll have a Mjolnir or a Radiance for that. The bigger buff for him is that Radiance is probably viable again because it got a decent buff. And I mean, you always welcome small stat buffs on Battlecry.
Do you think any of the new items would help? Like maybe Lotus Orbing the bear or
The Medallion or Courage upgrade could be pretty good.
giving it vision.
Yeah, 10 armor is
Armor,
big,
yeah.
and Lone Druid actually needs a small mana regen item. Most people get Vlad's, but you need something, and yeah. Oh, and damage block doesn't damage block doesn't block his root damage, because before Poor Man's Shield would like completely destroy Entangle from Lone Druid.
So you think he's obviously better, but not really broken or anything.
No, I don't think Lone Druid really got a buff at all this patch. He got like 20 damage on Battlecry. I don't think the eggs matters. And I guess he got some items. Actually, I don't know if that's true. I liked Lone Druid last patch, so he got a small buff, and I think he'll be usable in certain situations only. So
Luna with Aghanims. Sorry, Blitz. Did you have something to say about Lone?
No, I agree. but I think that the hero you can do some cool rat stuff with it. But continue.
And
Sorry.
eggs?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was personally really afraid of it. We'll see in a bit, I guess.
Yeah, it's one of those things too that I think you have to see, like how, like it works out. But we'll see. That hero is just something that I like to see before I make a lot of judgments on.
Okay, so Luna, your ultimate now hits 5 per hero instead of the max. And Aghanims, now you could cast your ult within 250 range, and then he grants vision of the area. So Roche maybe. And then you could also target an ally, like a storm. The beams will come from that hero now.
Oh shit, that's kind of cool. So I can like roll in and somebody
And just roll around, just bring down the moonbeams.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
Or you
Yeah,
just give it to your Tide and type links in Ravage. Then you
Oh
just
yeah, that's
lulls.
pretty neat. I like that.
It's also good because before Luna's died before they got their full ult off sometimes.
Also,
and,
the
you'll always get
positioning.
it off.
Yeah, the positioning was terrible before because you'd have to like run in
You have
and
to run in, yeah.
yeah, and you would just die anyways.
One armor is pretty nice too because even though that hero is pretty strong in lane, like she needs to be dominant in lane to have an effect in the game.
I could start seeing the Reddit meme already with the 1 armor increase, literally taking no damage.
You go like the ring of protection thing too, so it just stacks higher and higher.
Yeah, but Ring of Protection got a small nerf, so that sort of compensates.
Yeah.
Okay, the question is, would you ever farm an Aghanims just Alchemist memes aside?
I don't know. I still think that you wouldn't, but if you decide to go for that path, it's not as completely worthless as it used to be, and I think that's an important thing.
The problem with farming eggs on these heroes is that once you get your eggs, you don't have any item progression. It's like buying a BKB. Like, you're not going to farm faster after you buy your eggs, and their carry's going to start pulling ahead of you.
Yeah.
It's like every other item that Luna normally gets, like HOTD, Yasha, Manta, like they all make her farm faster.
Medusa split shot. Punisher no longer moved by death. Yeah. Meepo got nerfed, which
That's a pretty big nerf too for pubs. It was unbelievable that he would respawn 20% faster. Like that was disgusting. Like it felt like killing him had like no impact on the game whatsoever. Like I thought that hero needed some sort of nerf because it felt like, especially in pubs, it was like the one hero that you could just straight up 1v5 in. Like even more so than Storm, right?
I think he got stronger in pubs though, with the EXP change.
well,
Rubber
killing
band
Meepo
EXP.
now also, because generally he's the highest net worth relative to everyone else, so you're
Yeah.
making more gold from.
Not really, because it's 25% less, and then it's going to be 20% more. So you actually gain less gold no matter what, even if it has net worth compared to last version. And 40% EXP is really big, because the biggest thing about Meepo Dispatch that made him unplayable was that you hit level 25, and then they kill you and you get 3 levels on every hero. Yeah, that's Meepo, I guess.
Alright,
Second
let go.
Second Star Storm from Mirana has a bigger range.
That's really big. Before
it-
you'd have to like leap right next to the target.
Yeah.
But you could also guarantee though, because it hits the closest unit.
Yeah.
That is nice.
So Adeptus Strike, 100, 1000, 1150 speed projectile. You can dodge it. You can't. You can. Okay, I thought this was the strongest Aghanim patch. So you grant yourself a new ability, Hybrid. You could target an ally, turn yourself into that ally. You can't use any items from that, but you could use every non-ultimate spell. It lasts 20 seconds. Cannot pop out of it. Like you can't end the hybrid when, when it ends after 20 seconds, your hero can. So I was thinking with Morphling and Dying Wishes with 2 tombstones.
Yeah, there's a lot of uses for this, I guess, right? Any illusion-based hero.
It's also
Will be
a
strong.
free life now, right? Because
What do you mean free life?
if the hybrid dies, you don't die. Is that what it says?
Yeah, your hero emerges, I guess.
Yeah.
So you just...
Yeah, exactly. So now it's like you've got an extra hero to
So like
play
a
with.
insanely annoying Terrorblade that deals a ton of damage, but you
Doesn't
kill
care if he
him and
dies.
doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah, wow, that's actually really.
It's actually better than that because first you 4 seconds stun them and then you turn it to Terrorblade and you hit the stun target.
That's actually really. Yeah, this. You're right.
It's really
Lumi.
strong.
Yeah, it's really really strong. And before too, you never really had much to build into as like an offlane morphling, right? You get like Midas, but now you've got like an actual item progression to work towards.
And the adaptive strike is I think the projectile is a buff to carry Morphling too, because it was too awkward to cast F-Blade adaptive strike. Like you would have to cast F-Blade, wait for like 2 seconds, so you couldn't do it within your waveform. Now you can get everything off and replicate out. So I like the Morphling changes. Or
Well-
I don't know, I like the carry Morphling changes. The Aghanim's is scary to me.
I mean, you named a very specific scenario about like the adaptive strike being better, but in most cases you can't link in instantaneously Beastmaster Roar, essentially, right?
No, it's worse for support, but it's better for carry. I think it's almost universally better for carry once you have a F-Blade.
Is there any other kind of insane combo? Like on the worst part, like you just copy a high nuking support, right? Like Lion or Lina. Lion especially when
Zeus.
you get Zeus, yeah.
Zeus will be
anything.
crazy because you get your passive. And I don't know. Any? Yeah, I'm not sure. Sorry.
I think this hero is mainly broken.
I think like Naga Siren will be crazy
Oh,
because
really
you
like
can like
the-
just use your Kyo.
yeah, I really like the Naga change. Very thematic. When you sing now, you also heal your team. So it used to be just a retreat spell, and it still can be that, but maybe you could regroup and fight. Obviously, you can initiate as well.
That's nice. That's a huge heal, like 42%. So I guess that's for a support Naga, trying to buff that. Give her something to go towards, because I don't think you'll get that on a carry Naga.
Which, again, like I keep bringing out Alchemist because it's it was funny like 2 hours ago and no longer is. But like if you go carry Naga though, like, and if somebody actually give you the Alch, that's really where the 7th slot comes in, right? Like it's for heroes like Luna where you wouldn't buy it because like you said, it slows down their item progression, but you will still really want it. I think you might even pick an Alchemist to do it with. I still think that it opens up your drafting options a lot.
The thing is with carry Naga is that you're not a 5-man hero. Like you'll never use that hero. You use the heal to like you'll never use the sleep to heal. Use the sleep to like stall your enemies or like to split push or to get away from ganks.
Yeah. I'm not.
mean,
I'm not
you might
mentioning
use
the
that
axe
once or
specifically
twice,
for
but-
Naga, but like for everyone in general.
Oh yeah, okay.
It just opens up so much with
It does. It'll
Okay.
be cool in pubs.
Nature's Prophet. Another axe. Your Wrath of Nature now spawns a Nature's Call Treant, just one. Whenever you kill a unit, killing a hero spawns a stronger one, 3 times the damage.
I think
And
that's
then-
kind of neat, but it doesn't break the hero, right? Like, and you don't really like going Aghanims anyways, right?
Would you just go like Midas Refresher or Midas Aghanims Refresher now and just make trees everywhere?
I don't think that helps
Then push
because the
every
trees
lane?
still, this tree still die really quickly, and getting an Ags versus on NP you're still like an Ags versus NP.
I mean, the sort of good thing is that like when you egg them out away from one side back to another, sometimes the melee creeps don't die, but the range creeps will. So you have 2 treants to finish off like really low melee creeps, so you can get the full wave for it. But I don't think it's particularly big.
Okay, I guess in pro games, I don't know. It's a pub games with treants pushing everywhere and my wolves. Night Stalker Void attack speed slow increases my. Cool.
Sorry, you cut out for me.
Oh, I was saying anything about Night Stalker. I think if the Night Stalker is getting played, it's because of the new items, right? It's
Yeah,
what
it's
was
a
it called?
support.
Silverblade.
People run it as like a support all the time now, and
The attack speed does matter though,
yeah,
because going from 35 to 50, like when you get to higher numbers in attack speed slows, they start mattering more, I guess. Like going from like 125 attack speed to 110 is less than going from 110 to 95.
Yeah, so we haven't
And
got to
then early
the
game that'll matter more.
heroes like Troll and Sniper yet. And we touch on Juggernaut, but the fact that Mask of Madness got nerfed heavily and like all these other heroes like CM, Nova, and Void all are like removing significant chunks of it later. Those are like indirect nerfs. Okay.
Sorry, I think you're cutting out a bit on TeamSpeak. I don't know if this is...
Oh, sorry. I guess my detection is not that well. I'll just move it closer. I was saying the CM attack speed slow and Night Stalker attack speed slows are indirect nerfs to Jug, Troll, Sniper.
No,
Mask of
those
Madness.
heroes are better against attack speed slows. Like heroes with high attack speed are better against attack speed slows.
They are, but you know, everything, every little bit helps is what I'm trying to say.
I
Or
don't
not.
think it works like that.
Really? Okay.
Like slowing attack speed, because someone has 300% attack speed and you slow them by 100% attack speed, like they lose 1/3 of their damage or whatever. But if someone has like 100% attack speed, they slow by 100%, they're doing no damage. So yeah.
Okay. Should we move on to Nyx Assassin?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's a new Aghanims upgrade. Okay, I'm just getting tired of reading of these new Aghanims upgrade. Alright, you could now burrow with a 1 second cast time. When you're burrowed, he's invisible and unable to move and attack, but has a 40% damage resistant, regenerate 1.5% of his health and mana per second. And now you have improved ability when you're burrowed. Your Mana Burn and Impale have 50% cast range. So it's, I think, over 1,000 now. And Impale cooldown is reduced to 9 seconds. And Spike Carapace instantly stuns any enemy within 300 units, without requiring them to hurt them first. If you cast Vendetta when you're burrowed, it ends automatically. And you could also cast a Spike Carapace while you're Vendetta.
Is this even that good though? Because you can't move, and it takes 1 second to cast down. So don't people just run from you?
Yeah.
Am I thinking about this wrong?
And you
saying that?
Can you like an Impale stun and then burrow and then spike to extend your stun? Like if you're just trying to chain stun somebody? That works.
Oh,
right?
you could.
Yeah,
that's
but
cool.
it would still cost you, like, you're still doing 4,200 gold for that.
Yeah. I mean, the uses for really, like, if you're defending a tower, you can sit there just because you're sort of tanky. 40% damage resistance makes you the same as like Bristleback. You're reaching a lot, and then you can cast spells from far away. And then I wonder if you can like force stuff and stuff while you're in it, Broad or Blink.
Yeah, if you could force.
It says
then
you're
I feel
unable to
like it'd be
move,
okay.
so Force Staff
Yeah,
you go
okay.
moving, so I don't know.
I don't think it's particularly good.
If you're static like that, you would have to use it. Like you'd stun, then you burrow, and then you spike Carapace. But that is like the main application for it, right?
What if it also did more damage? Would you buy it then? Like maybe 25% increase on damage? When
You can
impale
TP while
someone?
burrowed. Okay. I mean, going
Maybe
high
make it
ground is
better?
kind of.
Yeah, I just don't see any reason to get this item at the moment.
Nah, I don't think it's particularly good.
It's a lurker. That's what people in chat keep saying, and yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I could stun people. Okay, Purification cast point increased, yay. Oracle, I don't play this hero. So I don't know. Is this good buff or bad buff?
Heroes. Wait. Okay, so he got a pretty big nerf.
Okay.
His ultimate. Whoa, wait.
It continues.
His ultimate got a buff. What the hell is happening?
What's wrong
Why?
with you, Kurt?
I read the last two lines first, and then I read that line that I never read before, and I don't know what's happening. How come that's Imba? That's so Imba. What the hell is happening?
But you can see him now,
I don't
though.
want to play versus Oracle Huskar ever.
You can see him now coming at you, and you
Yeah,
get there's
Oracle
nothing you can do.
Huskar.
But
He's gonna
who
hit you for
cares?
8 seconds.
You can't
You
die.
can't do anything.
You can't touch him.
You literally cannot do anything to Oracle Huskar.
Are you?
What is this
It's
shit?
like the biggest buff. I didn't think
that's
this
a
hero
huge buff.
needed.
I'm sorry, my
This
bad.
hero didn't need a buff. What the fuck?
That hero's already broken. Wait, the Purifying
free
Flames
it's a
cooldown
free-
got reduced?
It's a free BKB.
Wait, why is he getting buffed?
It's not even BKB,
No,
right?
It's not a free BKB, it's better than BKB.
Yeah, you can stun through the BKB.
It's,
like
it's
you-
way better than BKB.
Who just said who just said like, okay, we need a buff Oracle. Like this hero's not good enough. Like it.
Dude,
It's
telling you,
amazing.
This patch, like Winter Werven and Oracle, seem like the two best heroes.
This doesn't even make sense to me. Like,
Wait, this needs to get changed. My pubs cannot take this. Oracle was broken for sure.
it was, and now you just made it. Even
Is there
better.
any way to deal with this apart just from running away?
just run?
Leave the
Get the
game.
fuck away.
You
That's-
have to. Yo, this. Why does this exist?
What? The cooldown though, right? It's you know.
Who cares? It could be 180 and it would be a good spell, like Black Hole.
All right, so 40-second cooldown.
That's not
Whatever.
even that long, actually.
You know what?
That's
The
so
more,
short.
yeah, the more I read this, the angrier I get. So let's just say Oracle didn't need a buff, but received quite a big one, right? So
Why?
we keep.
Let's.
Whatever, man. I'm just gonna
Tell me
like
why.
I'm gonna beg my pubs to like pick Oracle while I pick Storm, and then I'll just roll in and. What will they do, Lumi? I won't be invisible, but will it matter?
They can see you coming though.
You
Yeah,
can't get
it's
stunned.
I mean, can you imagine me playing Storm with this hero? Like, it's so that just like sounds absurd. Like, I can just pretty much do whatever I want. To
Is this a
somebody,
typo
like-
of some sort? Like it. Okay. Are there things that you cannot remove, like buffs? Like, there's no way it's removing Doom, right? For example.
I don't. No, it doesn't remove Doom.
No,
Exactly.
but
Okay.
it
It
doesn't matter.
takes off stuns. It takes off silences. It takes off stuns. It takes off like silences, stuns, slows. I can't
Good
speak
stuff.
English. Help!
There are things that you could
Oh.
wait. Does it take out things like disruption and astro?
Who knows? But like,
I'm just trying to find ways to actually deal with it. Like, does it take out? So maybe there are some
I
ways
have
to deal
no
with it.
idea because before you can cast it on those spells because they're removed.
Can you dark pack as
But-
you're being astroled or?
Being-
And then do you get out of it?
Yeah, I
I've-
think so, right?
Okay, so
Yeah,
you
you do.
can't. So you can't.
Who cares?
actually-
Nobody picks OD.
Shadow Demon though, that's a sick hero.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Oracle. We should just move on because Blitz is gonna get an aneurysm from reading this.
Okay.
Does that not bother you at all? Like it.
I mean, I'll just not play pubs forever.
just. All right, let's keep going.
All right. Aghanim Scepters for OD. All right. So when you ult, it doesn't immediately drain all their mana like they used to, but it puts them in Astro. And imagine you get the buff for your int first before your ult damage is calculated.
No, this is after it deals its damage.
Okay, I should read the patch. So it does it after.
So basically, 4 seconds to disable everyone.
That's kind of neat.
Yeah, it's neat.
So when you refresh her,
Yeah, and then you get plus 40 int or whatever, 50 int. Wait, it's more. It's 13 per, right? So it's plus 65 int. Do an extra 650 damage. That's nice.
so the stats for Ags is not terrible for OD, right?
Yeah, it's not the worst. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like when you're bursting a target, which is usually what your ulti is for, you don't want them in Astro because then their allies will come help. So that would make it a team fight control item. And rather than like a ganking or whatever item. And I guess it's okay.
It
I think
feels
OD
like
still sucks. So
because it used to be like you have some niche against Mana Shield from Dusa, right? Well, I'm not talking about pro game, I guess at least.
yeah, that was
Just in general. But now you could be a setup hero of some sort, like setting up, you know.
Yeah, you could be. It's just
Unka
when
Bolt,
they come
Ravage.
above Astro, they're gonna hit their BKB.
That's true.
So I don't know. I don't think it's particularly good, but you don't want something like that to be OP. I guess I don't know. I guess it's okay.
I don't know why Phoenix is getting buffed, but now you get more sight.
Yeah, I think Phoenix needs a nerf. But anyways,
Puck is damage increase.
yeah, small buff probably needed.
Rot slow increase.
Yeah, one of my friends who plays Pudge said that was pretty good. The rot slow and then glimmering whatever item is big. So Pudge got us
Pudge.
buff this patch.
Okay, Decrepify buff as well as Life Drain buff. Why don't we see more Pugnas?
I don't know. I think he's good. Always good last patch.
Blitz.
Okay, let's start moving on fast. Otherwise, this is going to be like 4 hours. We still have like 20 heroes to go.
No, we're almost done actually. We're really close to being.
Alright.
Blitz is dying.
I mean,
I just
He's
want
not
to
used
play
to
this
this.
patch. Yeah, I just want to play. more
Is
than
it out?
anything. No,
it's
I
not.
don't
It's
think
out in
so.
test.
Okay.
Okay, Ricky. No longer. Smokescreen no longer slows attack speed. It slows turn rate.
The turn rate thing is really sick.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
that.
On the
Kurt
other hand, people are just gonna man fight you if you level and smoke them.
Yeah, exactly.
no field
attack
effect
speed slow
creeps.
is pretty big.
Sanking. Sorry, what?
No, sorry, I couldn't hear what you said. Oh, you can.
Am I
just go-
still cutting out?
Oh, you
I'm
said
sorry.
no field effects creep. Sorry.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, we touched on that.
Sanking Caustic changes. Now it will always trigger. Exactly how big is that? Because I've been seeing more like offlane Sanking recently, but I'm not sure how prevalent that is. Because you still want
I
things like Burrow and Sandstorm and stuff.
Yeah, I don't really know how it works. Like, if you hit someone, do they get the 20% slow on them when it triggers? I'm assuming you do. So that's sort of cool for laning, because you'll always be able to apply 20-second slow on them if you just walk up and hit them. But I guess it's good that Ice Frog's buffing Sand King's Caustic because no one skilled that skill.
Wait, Caustic Finality now always trigger via death or when the duration expires. So if you just right-click the enemy hero, like you're saying, right, it just steals 30% damage and 20% slow. Isn't he a pretty?
Isn't it only when it kills?
No, it says it
Or-
will
No,
always
if
trigger.
the duration expires, so after
I
6
see.
seconds, it'll.
So
I think it's like 90 at level 1, so do 30. Or actually, I don't know. But do like
You know-
27 damage or whatever.
Blitz, you were mentioning DK mid, right? Like, isn't Sanking Caustic really? Well, Caustic was always good against melee, but now you just like stick it on a melee hero.
It'd be pretty good.
Even with like the change to Fire Breath, I'm pretty sure destroying DK in lane is not the biggest problem with the hero still. Like he's a lot better in lane now, but I'm pretty sure you can still crush him in lane.
All right, Shadow Demon mana cost got buffed. Demonic Purge now applies break. Do they disable passive abilities? You could purge that PA.
3 times. Yeah, that's strong.
Is there any other?
So I think
Here you
Shadow
should-
Demon's break is the only one that goes through BKB too, unless I'm understanding this wrong. And Doom, if that still has break, I don't remember. Does Doom still have break?
See, it feels like it should have break and mute.
I think it does. Okay, I'm gonna assume it does because I don't want to scroll up and read it because I'm lazy. But if Shadow Demon's Aghanim's Purge works through BKB, that means he's pretty much a hard counter through versus like PA and Void and stuff like that.
Well, if he could
'Cause I
get an Aghanim, which
I mean, Shadow Demon farms fast on support if you want him to farm. His Shadow Points in is very good at farming. It's just people don't really want him to farm right now. Because other heroes scale better.
Actually, one thing, it felt so long ago, and I'm sorry if I'm extending this analysis more. With all those like tower pushes and racks pushes, would you guys feel that support will get more gold this patch? To answer it simply.
They get more from kills, so they'll
So
get
yes.
more.
Yeah. Okay.
Blitz is dead. Dead Blitz, dead.
No, I'm like reading through right now to see which of these changes actually like.
Oh, okay.
Shadow Shaman more health. Yay. Great.
Yeah.
Yep. That's
Last-
actually sort of big, but yeah.
Last word no longer disables, but now is slow. Or sorry, no longer disarms, but it slows instead when it. What do you guys think about that? Just like the disarm was a very unique property for Silencer.
So it silences and slows now.
Instead of silences.
It's like you don't even have to get an Atos anymore, Kurt. You just
Yeah.
that's pretty much what it
It's a
feels like when I read
20%
that.
slow though. It's not exactly the most impressive thing.
Yeah, it's really not that.
It makes him really scary in lane though.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Because he
If
was
you go
already
mid,
scary in lane.
you can go mid silencer, and even as a support, before you could just like, you had to pretty much be the stack guy, but now you can actually fight toe to toe and people can like catch up and stuff.
Huh, that's interesting. And like his items sort of got buffed, right? Like Atos for a core silencer.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, because like silences and slows go really well together. Anyways, moving on, I guess.
Slithering
Sparta,
Crush,
best hero in the
damage.
game.
Yeah, okay, got buffed. Sniper, everyone's favorite hero. Agility gain nerfed. Shrapnel recharge time nerfed. Delay increase on Shrapnel nerfed. Shrapnel now grants vision when it lands instead of when it's instantly nerf. Headshot can miss nerf. Assassinate nerf. Mask of Madness nerf. Anything else?
Thank God. Yeah, this
Thank
hero.
God.
It needed all of these changes. The shrapnel change is actually really big because before, as a mid player, it didn't even feel like there was a cooldown to it because it almost two would almost always be up just the way that it went.
I didn't even know there's a delay on it.
Yeah, so
Like it was 0.8. I'm pretty sure it's just instant. Like it just
Yeah.
came down and just ruined my life.
and the headshot can now miss thing. Before you would just pick it and you could still deal damage against all evasion heroes, right? Because the headshot would proc.
But
But
laning, like he would be underhill and like shooting at you.
yeah, I just think that this hero needed these kinds of nerfs because it's probably still one of the stronger, like base defender heroes in general.
He's still very playable though. I don't think he's like
Yeah,
done.
I agree. I just think that he needed some changes like this.
But
And the
I
biggest
think
thing is Mask of Madness.
Mask of Madness, yeah, that's the big thing.
Yeah.
The most infuriating thing is when you initiate on one of these heroes like Juggernaut, Sniper, like they pop their mask and they run. And like mask is supposed to make you vulnerable, but they would just run with mask on, and you couldn't do a single thing because they're 5/2/2.
Wait, actually,
So-
only nerfed the attack speed, right? Mask of Madness. I think the
No, they
movement
nerfed the
speed.
movement speed from
as well?
30 to 18. Did they nerf the attack speed too? No, it's sorry, 30 to 17.
Oh,
on
it's
the movement
only
speed.
it's only the movement speed. Okay, so the attack
Yeah.
speed.
I mean, it's. I think you still get on Sniper, but it's not some like it's not a defensive item somehow, even though it should make you vulnerable.
Spectre, reality no longer kills the target illusion, and now it just swaps. Which matters mostly for like you using it in a fight instead of hunting into a fight.
Yeah, exactly.
So, which I guess does that really matter
But
too much?
it'll kill. Does it kill the first one you use it on, or so it swaps position with the original Spectre? I guess.
Yeah, I guess it just don't kill anything.
Do you just have a random illusion here? But
Yeah,
it's
so
good
I
because
yeah,
if you
what?
do more than one. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I just don't understand why it's good, and you were explaining that.
Because like if you, for one, it's sort of confusing which illusion Spectre's on a bit more, I think.
Okay.
Because you can like do it multiple times and there'll still be illusions out of someone, and two, because you just get an extra illusion. Like if you out reality on someone and then you start hitting him a bit, and then you go to someone because you see they're more vulnerable and low, the first person you reality to will still have an illusion hitting him.
Wait, like I'm stupid. I didn't put 2 to 2 together, but Spectre Haunt plus was a 17 damage AOE damage reduction from Radiance. What do you do against that?
17%. Yeah, it's evasion.
It's not evasion, right? It's damage reduction. Or
No,
you guys know what I
is
mean.
it?
No, it's
It's I thought it was
reduces the
mismatch.
damage output, right?
No, it's causes them to have miss rate.
Okay.
So it's
same-
like a blind.
yeah. So your entire team's blind when they haunt. You have Radiance on you, and Spectre is hitting you.
Yeah, it's definitely strong.
All right. Do we okay? Empowering haste. Buff. Okay.
Oh, someone in my Twitch chat just said after you kill someone, you can reality to your original position, which is very good.
Oh, that's pretty sick. You
That's
farm.
good.
Okay,
That's good.
yeah, that's huge. Okay, Storm Nurse, Blitz, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
Wait, can I say one thing about the Spirit Breaker?
Yeah, shoot.
There's no downside to spamming your W now, because before if you spam W, you move slower than like overall. But with this change, you can just spam it whenever you want to move, which I don't like that much. But yeah. Anyway, Storm nerfs.
Oh boy, friends.
Okay.
Storm move speed, and then
Vision.
yeah. So the vision thing actually is probably bigger than the move speed thing. The move speed thing affects the laning phase, because the way that I play it, anyways, is that I'll drop a remnant and then I'll try to run back. so it kind of nerfs that style a little bit. Um, the ball lightning flying vision part is actually really annoying because originally you would go in and you could see a lot of what was going on just by the roll in, right? Uh, I assume that's how Sumail plays it as well, Kurt.
Yeah.
But now that that's nerfed, you actually need something to help you out in that regard. Like you need to actually kind of have combo pairings for it. So I think the hero's been nerfed a lot as well by things like the buyback mechanic. Some of the items don't directly benefit him, obviously. Like the enchanted mango, I'd have to play around with to see how I feel about it. But it's not like the Glimmer Cape and stuff like that. Well, maybe the Glimmer Cape you could do some stuff with. And
The
Moonshard. Moonshard is
Lotus
actually...
Orb takes off your Orchid too.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that part really sucks. And if I get silenced myself, like, you're almost instantly dead.
I think the big thing is that when you OT in, you can't Orchid them, right? If they're in fog. Because before, if you spammed it in front of you,
You could just do
would
it blind. Yeah.
Yeah, you could do it blind, and it was the dumbest thing ever.
You could precast it, because most people, the way that they would do it, like whenever I used to coaches, I'd watch people like roll in and then they would cast the Orchid. But now, before, you could have just like, you can click it beforehand, like even before you start the roll, and as you land, no matter what happens, you would still get the Orchid off. And the other thing too is that as you roll in, you could make so many decisions based on your first roll in, so that like you roll in, you get a ton of flying vision, and then you can kind of guess, right? Like if there's a Doom on the other team, you can see him as you go in, and you can cast him like in midair and stuff like that.
Storm Spirit dead hero?
No, I mean,
Damn
I'm
it.
still gonna. I've been playing it since like Dota 1, so even when he was like the attack speed version, so whatever.
Very tiny thing for Radiant mid blocking. Can you still do the RTZ block with 285, or is that the point you miss it? Was it 280 or 285?
I think you can still do it 280. You just have to do it higher up and more to the right. And
Okay,
it's
so like much
it's-
tighter.
You have a lower chance of getting it with lower move speed, but you can do it with like any move speed.
Warcry armor bonus. I thought 16 was already broken, but now 20 armor for your whole team.
I think Sven's a good hero. No one picks him though, so who knows?
Landmine activation delay reduced from 1.75 to 0.5. A whole bunch of like buffs. And then now the Aghanim Scepter gives you a undetectable way of protecting your mines in a 125 AoE of the Minefield Sign. Minefield Sign now has a cooldown
Why
of
are
6
they
minutes.
buffing Techies?
Okay, so the new Oracle Ultimate or Techies? Which one is worst?
This feels really annoying to play against in pubs. Like, I already liked playing with Techies on my team. Everyone complains about that hero, but he
Why are
stalls
they
out the game
buffing
forever.
Techies?
And now you can stall out the game even longer.
Yeah, I
There's a
don't like
lot
this
of
change.
rage on this side. It's just we're so tired and we cannot properly I'm sure
Yeah,
two
not a fan.
two Techies
Oh,
players
the
out
crap
there.
is
Happy.
12:30.
It is.
What's happening? All right, go
Okay,
go.
Mail
go.
cooldown.
Hey, Techies.
Okay, great. Reflection cast range increase. Reflection illusion outgoing damage also.
Yeah, negligible buff to TB.
Okay. Kraken Shell block increase.
It doesn't block a lot of spells now, so I don't know how much of a buff this is. I guess it's overall slight buff, but like it won't block like Dazzle Heal and stuff, for example. So some games it's a lot worse.
The reactive armor got nerfed and then buffed.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tinker Aghanim Scepter. You don't have the double cast range of laser anymore, but now it bounces heroes, and it has, one of the fastest. 550 bounce range, but it travels very quickly. And the mana cost of rearm got slightly buffed. I like the blind duration increase though. It gives you more incentive to level it up.
Yeah, it's really strong, especially with the low BKB durations.
Actually,
I guess you can purge it off with Lotus Orb and stuff now.
All right. tiny grab radius increase, and now you grab the closest unit around you instead of a random one.
I think there's a
Nice.
big buff to blink tiny. Because when you blink in, you can always get the combo off.
Yeah, whether it's a toss back or just a have a toss.
Yeah.
Treant Protector, Ice in the Forest, smaller AoE, okay. For Warlord, Berserker's Rage, nerfed. Range Rolling Axes, nerfed. Melee Whirling Axes, nerfed. Battle Trance, nerfed. And Mask of
Berserker's
Madness.
Rage. Berserker's Rage buff.
Which one? Oh, no longer move during death, so for the
yeah.
Aegis,
I mean,
yeah.
it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
But yeah, Troll got a gigantic nerf this patch. I actually think he's slightly over nerfed.
I think the
15
new
base
items
damage
help
is
him
huge.
though. I think the new items
they?
help him. The Silver Blade,
Which one? Oh, the Shadow
OP
Blade
one.
huh? Yeah, I guess that would help him. Well, maybe, but
And now
Yeah,
you could
maybe
buy
you're right.
Abyssal on him. Right.
like Quelling Blade got a pretty good nerf for a troll, just because he goes phase boots HOTD, so that's like 44 base damage that won't really help him with the Quelling Blade bonus now, and Quelling Blade's sort of why auto melee carries farm too fast.
Is there have you ever tried Deso on Troll?
I
Is
have
that-
not.
Deso just got buffed, so I was just.
I think you still
Um,
need to go stats heavy on that hero, right?
Yeah, I think the problem with Dasso is you can't get Skady,
Yeah, that's true.
and
Okay.
Skady is really good.
Tuskar. Interesting note. Tuskar is the only one hero that is completely immune to Lotus Orb. You could kick, you could punch, you could roll, and none of it will be redirected. I don't know why, if that's intended or not, but one of those weird hero that. Whole bunch of buffs, I think. Snowball has a constant speed of 675, no matter how many heroes. Aghanim's now adds a kick. So you could knock them up and then kick them back to your team, essentially, like mini Earth Spirit sorts. Which I find really cool. Like, you could initiate for your team instead of just rolling
His
your whole team in.
his gank is really scary now. The snowball speed. I hope Tuskar has been like sort of
Blitz just signed on CSGO! Holy fuck!
No, I did this to check something for my CS:GO. I had to
Okay.
buy something for somebody.
Oh, really?
No, but I'm serious. Man, I'm all
You know,
good.
Blitz has told me like 5 times he's gonna stop buying CS:GO cases.
Yo, and I've stopped now. We're all good
Have
in
you?
the hood. Yeah,
Are you sure?
yeah, man.
I don't believe you.
I'm good at the.
He's
I
logging on
handle-
right now to buy a CSGO case.
No, I can't. I physically can't because I'm in Germany. Thank you. But
Okay.
the kick thing, I think it's kind of like the. What is that hero? The Earthshaker thing, right?
Earth Spirit?
Or yeah, the Earth Spirit thing where you would just like kick somebody. I think positional things are always a buff, right? Because I think
Yeah.
positional things matter the most in competitive play. So when you have an ability that essentially just allows you to instantly kick somebody back, like that really fucks with stuff. Because
Is that worth 4K though? Like,
I
cause
think so. Because before you, especially as like a support task, like what the fuck did you build to?
well, now
Yeah,
you
we
have
got,
the new
like,
new item with the
no.
medallion and the talisman
Oh,
evasion.
that is good on it.
Yeah, but then you get something like you get blink and then you kick and then what do you really do? You can just like kick somebody in and then
Pick them in and you snowball after
yeah,
them.
and then you're
That is
winning
pretty
the fight
sick,
no matter
yeah.
what at that point, right? So I think this hero is I don't think it's broken, obviously, but I think it's like one of those
I think he's strong.
yeah, I think it's one of the
Because-
Ags upgrades I'm really satisfied with.
Like
I
with
think
all
that's
these
cool.
changes, like Sidro's still one of the best goes in the game.
Yeah.
Alright, Undying. Soul Rip now is considered 1 damage instance on the enemy. You know why they did that? Because I found it very good to remove refraction from PA in particular. Is it just a straight up nerf?
Yeah.
Like, what in one instance is that better? Or no, it's not better.
I don't know.
I don't know why they're nerfing Undying, because it's not like, or at least okay.
No, he got a buff this patch.
Yeah.
Because your tombstones don't get affected by AoE attacks, I think. Which is really big. Because before, like, if they had a Bristleback, Undying was worthless. Or his tombstone was, at least.
Oh, I see. Oh, that's
'Cause now
huge.
people actually have to
That's
attack it. Yeah,
huge.
it's really big. Undying got a big buff this patch.
It says 2 hits from creeps. What about towers?
I'm assuming 2, but who knows? Oh, actually, I think you should assume 1 from towers. if it says 2 hits to increase specifically and then 1 hit to kill. But I guess that's a testing thing. Someone in chat will tell me.
Alright, reworked Ursa Enraged. Let's see, goes into Frenzy, takes 80% less damage from any source for his attack to deal 2.2, 2.5, 3 Fury Swipe damage. Remove any existing debuff upon cast. Obviously not stuns, obviously not silences, so mostly like, you know what? You could enrage and blink out, right? If you're being dotted.
I think your blink would have to come off going on.
Oh yeah. Well, if dot is one that's
like if it's like a Shadow Strike, yeah.
Right.
But
yeah, that's pretty.
It's good because like, I guess, I don't know. Is this more damage than the Odin Rage? I haven't done any math on this at all. So it does like what, 6 hits, so it's like 75, 150, 225. How many
Well,
hits?
never mind the damage.
Let's
Let's just assume the damage is the same, right? Real fast. Like, I'm thinking about the 80% less damage because generally what Ursa used to do is you blink in, you either kill a guy or don't, and then he becomes useless because he gets slow stunned and he's done. So this makes him.
Like, if you get stunned, you can't take it off.
Right, but if they want to kill you, they have to really overcommit. Okay, and they can't really just ignore you, right? Like, you're an Ursa.
They sort of can. Like, kiting someone for 4 seconds isn't a big deal.
Okay, so what do you think about this? Is it a buff?
I think it's a buff, right? Especially just because of the debuff thing.
Yeah, I think so. And also, like, if you're hitting something like Roshan, like, you just wait 10 seconds before using your ulti, and then you pop it and he'll instantly die. So,
I think he needed a buff too. Like, Ursa felt... Just because
Ursa was shitty troll, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like, before, he was the only hero that could do Roshan, and that was, like, the main reason you pick him. But even then, everyone in the world knew you were going to Roshan. Especially for competitive play, right? Like, you played around that fact, and so... At least this way makes it a little bit more playable.
Okay. Venomancer now gives you more damage. Particularly, you have a little bit of damage at level 1. I think at level 4, you do a ton of damage already, even with the old Gale. Like, 400?
Yeah, it's 600 damage now.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, Viper, whatever. Visage is pickable now. Best hero. Favorite support.
Yeah, you can't brain sap them anymore. Was it Axe Spin? Just killed it, right? Like.
Yeah, the biggest thing is like they can't get like Quap ultied, Axe Spin, Bristlebacked, Gyro, Luna. Because before, like in this patch, like it was very hard to play Visage.
Warlock continue to receive buffs. Heroes OP.
Not quite, because how spells targeting ancients also got reworked.
Oh yes,
so his golems can get hit by a lot more, and they can get disabled by a lot more. Like, for example, they can get ravaged or impaled.
Yeah, tornado and definitely everything.
So it's
upheaval though.
I don't know what it is. Sorry?
I said upheaval though.
Changed, I think.
No, it didn't. I'm just saying that spell is so insane.
Yeah. That spell is good, for sure. So I think Warlock was sort of pickable last patch, but he's sort of awkward to pick in that meta where like they had a troll or a jug who would instant kill your golem, and also it was hard to like death ball down the lane. In this one, it seems like you can group up a lot easier so far. I have no idea what the metagame will be, so that may make him a lot stronger.
Okay, Weaver getting swarm buffs, I want to say. Yeah, well, the swarm damage is less, but then it has a better BAT. I haven't worked out the math, but I assume it does more damage. And
yeah, I mean, the big
more
thing
importantly,
is
it removes the armor faster, right? For
the
BAT. Gem and attack, cool. Now you have an Aghanim Scepter Weaver to upgrade. You could time lapse your allies.
Every 20 seconds?
Every 20 seconds, 0 mana cost, 1,000 cast range.
That's so... Can you run a Core Weaver as that and get it? I don't know, because you don't flash farm particularly well, and your hero still dies really fast. It's like
but with
support
eggs,
Weaver.
Tanky.
Yeah,
like
support Weaver meta.
egg stats are good. I don't think you would support it, but I think like even on
Offlane?
core it's fine.
You could go heavy support with that medallion, talisman item, and Aghanims.
Yeah.
I mean, like you can farm down support, so like
That's
it
the
has
problem,
to be
yeah.
core to farm 7k.
You can't really put it offlane either.
I
because
think-
it's never gonna get the money for it, right? It has to be a 1 position.
Yeah, but like you have a bigger, because Weaver's really good in lane. You can use Weaver to secure the lane, and then you have like some sort of Shadow Fiend or Windrunner or Sniper mid. And like if they go on him, you can just save him instantly.
Pretty
But
sick.
yeah,
1,000 cast range. Yep.
1,000 cast range is really long for a skill like that. I think that should be changed a bit possibly.
At least make him have to Sakushi closer, you know, like.
Yeah, like there should, like all these save spells usually there's some sort of like limiting factor to them, but with these new ones I feel like they're a bit too easy to cast, I guess. But maybe not, who knows. Haven't played it. It's I find it really hard to comment on like changes like these because I don't know how it interacts in game until I played it.
Well, you know what? The LC Ags with this one, LC can blink in, right? Get the duel off. And then you
If you're
time
losing
lapse.
the duel,
No, you just time lapse them straight up, like right beginning of the duel, and they just have to walk to you, right?
That's great.
that sounds.
That's the
Lumi,
good-
you're a god. You really are.
Yeah, but
This alone was worth it to be in here. That was good.
All right, Shackle Shot changes. Winter Riven in Captain's mode. Okay,
No, that's not okay.
That's
I
not
mean,
okay.
it's
That's
not okay, but it's like, you know, that's the thing. It
No,
happens.
no, it's not okay.
Okay, I don't know what the
Oh,
new.
God.
Okay, Curse now attack their ally. Now take 70% less damage from all sources. It's a bigger AOE. It's a higher duration. And it's a higher
Okay.
cooldown. So
I really don't like comparing spells to Black Hole because Enigma is a lot more than just Black Hole. Like you compare Axe Call to Black Hole, like Axe is gonna look really OP. But Winter Wyverns is Black Hole AoE on half the cooldown at 800 range instant cast with none of the downsides. Like, I don't know. It's sort of sketch. And yes, his allies will take 70% less damage, which I guess makes it a lot more balanced, but it's still like that one guy is going to die, and it's 800 range instant cast through BKB. So I don't know. Pretty good.
Yeah, the hero, when you see it in pub games alone, you can tell like the applications on a high level are ridiculous. Like it just does a ton, and now that you've added it into CM, I don't know. Like if you had to pick it, Kurt, do you think it's just first pick material every time?
wait, did
I'm
they
not
just
sure
buff
because-
Arctic Burn? Arctic Burn per second
No,
from
no,
6
it's
to
worse.
8. Okay, yeah. Okay, never mind.
In the current patch, he would definitely be first pick just because of how the meta is so physical damage
Yeah.
focused. But I'm not sure he is in this patch when there's so many mage items and like a hero like Leshak might be the best hero in the patch, for example.
I think it's
Uh,
Huskar, man. That hero's
okay,
gonna be
Huskar.
sick.
Yeah, Huskar's crazy. Especially with that back item. Oh, I don't want to play versus Huskar. Yeah, I don't know. He's really bad in lane. But I've only played him in pubs where like I don't really have a lane partner. He's really bad solo in lane, but with the dual support he might be pretty good.
Are you talking about Winter Riven or Huskar?
Winter Wyvern.
Okay. I was like,
I think he's incredible.
wait, isn't Winter Riven sick in lane? Like the Arctic Burn with the long range, and you can spam Splinter Blast, and it does a ton of
Yeah,
damage.
but you push the lane.
Okay.
Like he'll be really good maybe in like 3v3s and stuff, but like Dota's usually gonna be with zoning, I think. The one hero. So like you can't use Splinter Blast, so push the lane. And he's definitely decent in lane, but if you're 2v1ing with him, he's really weak. So you need to 3v1 with him. And I guess maybe he's strong, I have no idea. I don't play the hero much.
Yeah, generally when I have success with this hero, I run an offensive dual or tri lane and generally wrecks whatever they have. Alright, Wraith King Aghanims. Allies who are near Wraith King within the 1200 AoE, when slain, becomes Wraiths for 5 seconds, delaying their death. They could continue attacking, casting.
What?
When the
Wait, what?
duration ends, the hero dies, and credit the kill who goes to whoever lands the original killing blow.
Isn't that really good?
So basically,
I
you have a
like it.
5-second longer.
Like a shallow
Window-
grave, right?
Yeah, it's like an AOE shallow grave for your team.
Wait,
And
is
you're
it
not-
everyone?
Yes, it's within 1200 AoE.
Yeah, so you
Oh,
just
okay,
group
for
around
5
the Wraith.
seconds.
Yeah, you group around the
Okay.
Wraith King, and he doesn't die first anyways.
Yeah.
Well, he has 2 lives. He dies. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
That's cool. Is that cool?
Yeah, it is.
That's
It's-
good. That's strong. I thought it was only on one hero at first. But
No,
No,
it's
it's
everybody in that area.
Is it strong or is it OP? Like, you know how sometimes when you blow out a carry, they can't really do anything or cast their spells, right? Like, is there any way to actually just straight up kill somebody without
Oh,
them casting their
man.
spells? They will always cast whatever they need to cast.
Yeah, that means that there's no more bursting down X support hero, so you can't get anything off.
Yeah.
Like, let's kill the mech
That's really strong.
guy because he can't use mech.
Especially on like
exactly.
Lion and stuff, right? Like you just
It's
have Lion
guaranteed
stand in
damage.
front. They jump the line and then they wasted their initiation and you still have a Lion Hex and finger on them.
Right, so the thing is, Aghanim is kind of terrible. Like, the item itself, the stats on Wraith King, because you need so much other stuff, right? I think Strength melee heroes got a lot of items this patch. Like, with things like minus armor, evasion, and a silver blade item. And now you have Aghanims. Like, what do you choose? Like, is this a carry thing? Is it a support thing? What order
I
do
mean,
you
you
rush
can-
the item? Do you get them? It seems like we
could
get
get
the
it,
item.
You still probably get Blink from a positional standpoint, but I could see it as like a second or third item, depending on how you decide to play your lineup.
So what HP are they at when they like become a Wraith? Are they at like 1%? Because like I don't want to play versus Hoscar with like an Oracle and a Wraith King in pubs. Like he gets Oracle ultied and then he dies and then he gets Wraith King ultied at 1%. He's just hitting my team for freaking 1 billion years.
Maybe they just don't have health. Like, they're Wraiths, right? They're just, like, full health.
Okay.
That
I
would-
don't know. I'm just guessing.
That
Also,
would make that really good.
are they, like, considered as illusions of sorts?
No, I think they're just a full hero. You just die after 5 seconds.
So you
Yeah.
can't hex or mana drain to get rid of it. Okay.
No, but I'm sure if like you can like Yo Scepter them or something, and that'll be almost their death. But
It would still be annoying
still
to
really
have
strong.
to. Yeah, you have to get through that barrier first.
I mean the big thing is that the hero still does die. So like it's not like Shadow Grave where you can if you get off a good Shadow Grave, sometimes the hero will get everything off and then live.
Actually,
But
can you Aghanim's Weaver time-lapse a Wraith?
I doubt it.
That can't work, right?
That-
Like, if it does work, they will
That-
patch
no,
it out.
I don't think so because it says the hero dies. So I'm
Yeah, okay.
assuming even if it lifesteals 1 billion HP, it's still gonna die.
Zeus, Thunder God's Wrath now reduces a ton of AoE. Which was always annoying. Zeus ult, and then you get like, oh, there's 3 wards we could D-ward. And then fixed Thunder God's
mean-
Wrath, sometimes hitting invisible units depending on the player order slot.
Like
So-
Thunder God's Wrath could give 100 AoE vision, and the vision would still be extremely useful. Or like 250, so you can click on people. Like
It's
as
still-
long as
it's
you
still a
see all the
nerf,
enemy
though.
Heroes.
Can argue
It
about
is, you're
that.
right. But like, I think Zeus is really strong, and I think he got items added to make him even better.
Cooldown reduction.
Yeah.
Okay,
So Zeus is spooky.
we are
Like
officially
Refresher got better on him too. So yeah.
we are officially at the end of the patch. You rejoice now.
Blitz dead.
Dude, I'm so tired. I woke up literally at like 4 a.m. for this.
Thoughts about the patch?
Now that we're done with it.
Yeah. There's a lot of OP stuff. I don't remember reading any other Dota patch and be like, okay, this is OP, this is OP, this is OP.
Are you sure I do that every patch?
Okay, so the Morphling Aghanims, right? And a couple
Continue.
of the new
That is
items.
spooky.
The Silver Blade.
Spooky. Spooky
The Wraith
Blade
King-
is now
the Ra-
Spooky Blade 2, and it's
The Wraith
stronger.
King Ultimate looked pretty sick. I don't know. I feel like there was just a lot of... Oh, the Alchemist
but
thing,
on
right?
the bright side, Sniper, Troll, Storm, nerfed.
Excuse
My pubs are
me?
saved.
Kurt,
Pubs saved.
my career just got ruined. Just like,
It's over.
yeah, goodbye, BlitzDota.
Yeah, this is just back. I'm happy. I mean, the biggest thing like with these initial patches, I said it before, but since this video is like 3 hours long, is that Like there's gonna be multiple versions of them, and then within like a week, there's gonna be a small change based on feedback and balance changes. Like even though like things might be a bit extreme in this first iteration, I don't think that's a problem in the patch. I think if things are extreme, they'll just get patched out faster.
All right.
So yeah. And pubs aren't saved. Someone in my chat just said you got Silver Edge Slark every game, which is true because that is broken. Silver Edge Slark is broken.
And Oracle?
Oh yeah, no, Oracle, no. No. My pubs are ruined. Blitz.
Dude, I don't know, man. Let's just do dual queues and do some Pudge memes or something. I don't know.
Pudge memes? Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, I guess
Alright.
with that we are done, right?
Yeah.
We did it, guys.
I'm gonna go cry about Oracle.
Yep. So he's Aui2000. You can follow him at Aui2000, I believe.
Why is Oracle buffed?
Wait, no, he's got an. Wait, don't you have an underscore, Kurt? Or do you not?
Yeah, I
You do have an
AUR
answer.
underscore
Yeah.
2000.
Yeah.
And then
On
Blitz
Twitter.
is at BlitzDota.
Blitz underscore Dota, man.
Why do you guys
Never
have all
forget
these
the-
underscores?
Because I
We're
have
cooler
to.
than you.
Some Russian guy took my name. What do you want me to do about that?
I don't know. Were you supposed to have a different name, not Blitz? You were telling this story about
There
something.
there has been like a large amount
Miranda
of.
Kerr.
Yeah, Kurt knows
Feist.
all of them because we've known each other for way too long.
Right.
I don't. You know what? In hindsight, though, I don't think the Storm thing is the worst thing in the world.
I
Like,
think
the hero's
Storm's still
playable.
usable for sure, right?
Yeah, it's still playable. Like I'm still gonna play him. You
Like,
might
you're
just
still
have to
gonna meme
adjust the
people in
style.
pubs.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, I don't think in pubs you got any worse, to be honest. Like, there's none of this teamwork stuff where they take off your orchid with the
yeah,
item, you know?
nobody's gonna be like, okay, guys, he's probably gonna roll in from that distance. Let me just like pre-use the mirror on you, and we'll
Yeah,
echo
and
him
even
into
then,
silence.
like, people can put the mirror on you when you get silenced, and then you live, and then
Yeah.
so on, like, so.
Should be
yeah.
okay.
Oh,
I
it's
think-
gonna be so cool, you know? They put the mirror image spell on you or whatever, and then you dodge the Venge stun, and Venge still gets stunned. Is that how it works? Or is it once it hits you? That'd be cool.
I actually think it's not even when it hits you. It's just that when
It's
the
when they cast
spell
it,
is
right?
cast. Yeah.
No,
mean
it's
Louis?
when it hits you.
Oh,
Oh,
it is
damn.
when it hits you.
Or at
That's
least-
unfortunate.
From the testing. Like I never
'Cause there
tested
would
that
be
case,
some-
but
MLG 360 plays with Storm and like.
You could just
Lotus
keep
Orb.
rolling around and dodging
Yeah, if
stuff
people
with
like
it on you.
start trying to cast stuff on you and you just meme them, yeah.
actually though, like if somebody put a Lotus Orb on you and you have the Lincoln's item yourself, like, and you don't see the
Yeah,
Lincoln's buff, right? Like that'll work.
And Kotl got buff, so that's a buff for Storm, right? We're good to go.
Yeah, I think the only thing that I'm kind of the ultimate thing was kind of annoying, and some of the items don't really benefit Storm, right? Like the only item that I could foresee having some potential with is what was that item
Enchanted
called?
Mango? 4 allies with Enchanted Mango
Yeah, okay.
following you around?
Nobody's gonna do that though.
They will. They see 7k MR, like, please, I feed you mangoes. Go.
No, you know what's gonna happen in this patch? I'm gonna get ganked 50 times. The Moon Shard, I think I'm gonna try some stuff out with.
Oh yeah, that would be a good one, Storm.
Yeah, because once you sell Orchid, you need the attack speed still, and you kind of get fucked. And you farm the fastest on the game anyway, so you probably get it. So I think I'm gonna try playing around with that. I don't know how much the Octarine Core or whatever changes for me, just because the cooldown reduction on his ultimate clearly, it doesn't do anything. I guess it makes
I don't think it's good in Storm.
your remnant would be like the only thing.
Does
It
that
goes
even
like
matter?
once. No, it's completely irrelevant. Like that item actually does nothing. I think for Storm reading it, because it doesn't even give you good mana regen as a whole. So probably don't even get that.
So basically, Storm is only Oracle. Oh, Crystal Maiden. Like, the mana heroes got buffed. So see
Yeah.
Kotl. Might have them in your game. Hope they gank you. Hope your Storm dies. Alright. I think we're done the patch
Wait,
analysis,
hold up,
right?
hold up, hold up.
Okay.
Apparently, I just got linked this on Reddit. The Meepo could get Spell Steal if you Lotus Orb one of your other Meepos, and the Rubik Spell Steals, then you get Spell
That's
Steal.
cute.
And then your other Meepos could now start Spell Stealing. What?
That's really cute. It'll get instantly patched.
Alright, we're
Right.
done. Good night, guys.
Good night.
Bye.